Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Death Attack. Of course, this is not our normal time slot for today. Typically, we'd be having our Chicago by night. But we are all still recovering from our 12-hour stream from yesterday, and boy, did that take a toll on my body. I'm still feeling it. Spent most of the day with my looking at the back of my eyelids, and we are now here to give you guys some good D&D. Chad, are you okay? Give you some good Dungeons and Dragons content. So hopefully you guys are all doing well. And if you guys did stop by last night, thank you so much for joining in with us. Thank you for anyone who did donate. As you guys can see, we still do have the donation tracker up. We're going to be keeping that up through the rest of the year. And we'll be getting with you most likely next Sunday on the start of the Patreon. So stay tuned for that. Does anyone else have any other particular news before we get started in the game?
I feel like we do. Oh yeah, if we're gonna ride this out, the goal to $1,000 to the end of the year, if it does hit $1,000, does Cookie still have to eat the hot chip?
Yes. Yeah, just hot Cookie.
Chip. Hot chip. I'll eat it with him. I'll die too.
I'll eat it with him.
We'll die together.
Cookie's gotta eat the whole chip.
I'll buy another one.
That wasn't the agreement yesterday.
No,
That was true. That's true. It was not the agreement.
Oh, another announcement. Elijah will be working on his Beckett and Vlad novels here soon.
Yeah, Beckett and Vlad novels incoming very shortly, and with a spicy Irwin love triangle. So,
Ooh, we're getting a threesome scene.
Getting a
bitch?
threesome scene.
Oh my god!
And you know who's gonna be on the bottom.
Beckett.
Ain't Beckett. Irwin's spreading deep for those boys.
Oh my god! All right.
Is it like a DP kind of situation?
Oh my god! All right.
Wait, how? Oh.
This is an 18 and above stream.
This is an 18
This
plus.
is usually the kind of talk we say for After Dark, which is tomorrow.
Slickling, Vlad,
No.
and Beckett's
No.
peenie.
All right. So yeah, if you guys want to hear more of that, stop by tomorrow night.
Slickle beanie.
If I'm alive, I don't
Yeah.
feel like I got much longer left. And I slept.
What?
I'm so tired.
How are you tired? You got the most sleep out of everybody.
I worked.
No, he went to sleep for 2 hours and then went to work and then came back and slept for a little bit.
I feel like you were asleep for a lot longer than 2 hours.
No,
Maybe
he went to
not.
bed at like 4:30.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's true.
I don't remember.
I'm
half the
here.
Stuff that happened last night.
Laughing Day's here, guys. I promise.
I think that's it though.
That is it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick off tonight's episode. Roll to save, travelers. This is a death attack. And when we last left off, our Widowmakers made their way to the island that Jethro had offered a job to Jezebel several weeks prior for their original departure into the Strand. Once they arrived, the crew quickly discovered that Jethro's ship has been left abandoned, uninhabited, no signs of life within the vessel. Quite some time. The food molding and rotting within inside. Deciding to venture into the island to discover the fate of Jethro after Jezebel discovered a rather interesting letter from another pirate lord, Captain Calypso, the head of the Hellfire crew, implicating him potentially in a connection with Tuchagol and Old Bela. Now hot on their trail, they uncovered a unique group. An old Zenithian, his young apprentice Talish, a Tabaxi, and a rather eccentric bard, Godfrey. And without further ado, we will begin right where we left off on that very scene.
Hype, we're awake, we're here, we're awake. We got this.
Give me some tape. Like I'm Tomcat, you know? Like the GIF.
Oh.
The one that you posted in our Discord, our NearDark Studios Discord.
Okay.
Exclamation point Discord.
So you all find yourselves. You're still within that clearing that you all made the agreement. You have shaken hands with Carter and have agreed to help him take care of this Dybbuk and possibly acquire the head that he's looking for.
I don't think that's showing on your
It's
camera.
not even in shot.
It's not even in the shot.
It's not even in the shot.
We just had a cord fly down from the screen.
It was the Dybbuk.
That's the one that has fallen down the most. So we might need to just get something else to help hold. Maybe grab some of that tape that you used on
Just
the.
continue.
Okay.
I'll work on it.
The Dybbuk came.
Well, it's sort of your guys' scene.
She could play from there.
Do you want me to fix this or not?
No, I'm just saying it's their scene.
Oh, right.
Put this up for me.
Carter and Telesh
Thank you.
have just agreed to your combined effort to help hunt down the Dybbuk and acquire this head for him. For another pirate lord that's known as the Merchant. Begin scene.
Thank you for that.
Is everyone okay? You all look
I'm
like
just
you're
kind
staring
of-
into the nothing.
I was just taken back a little bit by the bard that just came out and just crying like a baby.
You'll get used to him, I promise. He's a rather, well, he's a big crybaby. Don't mind him.
But where's the? What did you call a Dybbuk? Where do we look for that?
Well, that's sort of the problem with the Dybbuk, is that they just don't have a body themselves. They reside within a spiritual astral form. They possess the corpses of the dead. And then they use that as a way to traverse, cause harm. Give me a moment. Let me try to grab my bearings on what direction we should go next.
See that basically Carter begins looking around. You can see that he's looking for any sign of direction or location or maybe markers. Maybe possibly they have tracked this area already before.
Father, have you ever seen a Dybbuk before? Do you know what he's talking about?
I have no idea. Have I ever heard of a Dybbuk?
Maybe Kaz knows? Kaz, do you know?
You can go ahead and give me a knowledge history check, please. You know what I really wish they would have kept in from older D&D editions? Knowledge dungeoneering.
Yeah.
I really wish they would have left that in there.
I got 7.
I rolled a 14.
A 14?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything higher than that?
You
7.
got 7.
Essentially, from your rough understanding, a Dybbuk is just a really malevolent ghost that possesses people. It may be fiendish in origins, but then again, there's a real fine line between what is fiendish and what is undead. There's a lot of different factions. Some fiends, some demons, like Orcus, considered to be demonic forces of undeath. However, there are other undead entities, such as liches, raven queens, or the deity Raven Queen. Not necessarily fiendish at all, but simply practice within the powers of undeath.
I'm pretty sure it's just a ghost, Lamde.
This guy walk off.
Carter?
Yeah.
Yeah, Carter is basically, he's surveying the area. He's looking for markers and locations on which way to go next. You notice that he's almost tutoring Talish as they move around this opening. You can see that it looks like they're making a marker on one of the trees.
So,
and
like, how far away are they?
probably about 40 feet.
Alright, so when they give us what we need, we're gonna tie him up and leave him here, right?
Godfrey is still next to you.
You fuck.
I know, I mean, I won't let you say that if you knew he was there.
So say it.
I'll
Yeah.
say it in my head. And hope you guys have the same idea.
So, We help these, gentlemen with their Dimmick. And, what next, Jezebel? We find, of course, we're trying to find Jethro, but...
If we find Jethro, then we should find the map on Jethro, which will show us where the mask is. So that's the plan.
Okay, so I'm so confused as far as... We're just after the mask because... Shiv is after the mask?
This is taking this whole part and this whole thing with the cell, hierarchy.
The Archelon cell,
that,
stories.
right. There's like a whole list of things that they're collecting, and that's one of them.
Okay.
So it's significant in some way.
You notice at this point, Godfrey has wandered off from your group. He realizes you guys are talking about stuff personal, so he just kind of is looks as though he's respecting your privacy and moving over towards Carter and Telesh, beginning to annoy them.
Okay.
So how are we supposed to even help them? They seem to know what they're doing. I don't know why they need our help.
I don't know. It just makes it go by faster. There's a reason why I offered it to them. So.
I feel like it's more so them helping us than us helping them, honestly. There's like an illusion that we're helping them, but we're not really going to be doing much, I feel like.
I can't even. Yeah, I can kind of see that, to be honest.
And also, we still haven't ran into the the inhabitants of this island.
Yet.
True, we don't really know how bad they might be.
You hear Godfrey speak up from the ridge line of the clearing that you are in. You notice as he bends down looking at the jungle foliage, his head kind of turns in this inquisitive, almost puppy-like style. You notice that he motions over to Carter. Carter! Look at this! This is absolutely splendid! Someone left a piece of art out in the jungle! And you notice that Carter quickly snaps his head over like, what? What are you doing? What is that? And Carter starts making his way hastily over there. You notice that Godfrey's head is pointed looking towards Carter as he's making his approach. Him still squatting down in a squat position, his hands on his hips. He looks back towards the art and then looks back towards Carter. What? There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just simply art. And as soon as Carter gets within close, you immediately see him, get away from that, you idiot! And it's completely harmless as you want to get a good look at it? You want to give me a perception check.
I have 12.
I only got a 6.
Explode.
We'll go an unnatural 20.
Actually, 7. So I don't know, I got 7. My perception.
13.
Alright. 3 of you. Looks like where you're standing, Godfrey's sort of blocking your vision. But the 3 of you are sort of on the side. You guys are able to get a look over his shoulder and actually see what he's looking at. It's a rather peculiar piece of art, it does appear. It looks like 3 faces.
Is this like etched in stone, or what?
It appears to be a wooden totem. What you see appears to be a wooden totem of 3 very elongated faces. Probably about close to a foot in diameter, stacked upon top of each other. So it makes about a 3-foot tall totem. Just a little bit shorter than Fulner's height. You notice that as Godfrey makes his statement, explains that this is not going to hurt him, you hear a horrific sound sounds like chittering and clatter as you hear and as you all look, you realize that arms come out from behind this wooden totem, a set of what appears to be 3 sets of arms, so 6 altogether. You see that as one comes out, it seems to be holding some sort of wooden skewer or weapon, and you, without Godfrey even noticing, still looking, his eyes locked into Carter, you see it right into his thigh. You notice that Godfrey doesn't react at first until he... And you notice Godfrey immediately starts to fall back. You notice that the heads begin to separate, and as one hops off the other one, You notice that 3 tiny little creatures wearing elongated wooden masks seem to be holding weapons, and as they stand there, 2 of them quickly bolt off into the jungle behind them, as another one grabs up what looks to be a wooden tube. Go ahead and give me a dexterity
Oh,
save.
look, Force Falner. If it's not the elf
You
dude,
have,
it's gonna be these guys.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. That is a 23.
You managed to see it coming as he raised up his weapon. You moved out of the way as this dart flies by you and sticks into the tree.
You little fuck, come here.
He turns around and he runs into the jungle.
What did it look
You notice
like?
that Godfrey. You didn't really get a good
Yeah, the
look at
mask.
their body. They have very elongated masks that appear to conceal most of their bodies.
You already know what I'm picturing. Entangled.
Sorta, yeah.
Is that what it looks like?
Kinda.
I'm picturing Diablo 2 Act 4.
They appear to have the design on the mask appears to have a very almost like tiki type appearance. It seems to be like carved macabre faces of anger, of laughter.
I think they also had that in Scooby-Doo. There's a Hawaiian movie.
Act 3.
I'm good to go over to the blow dart in the tree and kind of like,
You want to pull it out?
yeah.
Okay. You notice that as you watch Labde move over to pull it out, Godfrey laying onto the floor like, oh! All right, this is it, I'm going to die,
Get a hold of yourself, man. It's just so fucking flesh.
You notice that Carter puts his hand on your shoulder and just goes, yeah, just give it a second. And as this happens, as Godfrey goes into a complete and utter panic attack, he finally, you see his eyes roll in the back of his head and he passes out.
Thank God.
Could you go ahead and give me a... you're able to pull it out perfectly fine. As you do pull it from the tree, it does appear to have some sort of large... It's not metal. It appears to be some sort of wooden skewer. The back of it has a light but fluffy cork-like material, and there appears to be remnants of some sort of avian-like bird fluff on the back of it. It does appear that the wooden needle is soaked in some sort of damp, sappy substance.
Can I make some sort of knowledge check to see if I've ever heard of anything like this before?
Sure. I'll actually give you advantage on this, since you have been in the Strand before. So go ahead and give me a knowledge history with advantage.
I'm going to walk back. I've never seen anything like this.
He sounded, yeah.
Do you see this? I just got hit by this.
Good thing they don't have a very good shot.
10. You particularly haven't seen anything like these, but you do know that there is a creature that is sort of rumored to exist on some islands within the Strand, known as pygmy goblins. It's actually an inaccurate representation, as you're told when Carter makes his way over and he grabs the needle from your hand. Mm-hmm. As he grabs it, you notice he takes his mouth and licks the tip of the needle.
Sure, you want to do
I don't
that.
think you should put that in your mouth.
Do you do that often? I learned to not do that really quick where I was.
I can't be poisoned.
You notice that he breaks the needle.
Bless you.
Thank you. Honey sap root.
What does that?
It's a powerful toxin, but it's not designed to kill. It's designed to attract.
Attract.
Sturges. There's probably a lot of them on this island. Keep your eyes out and low. That was a pygmy goblin. Well, those were pygmy goblins.
Are you implying there's something else that we should be worried about?
Sturges. They can inhabit these islands. They're hard to say. Like a horrific mix between a mosquito and a bat. Large, hairy bodies and needle-like faces. They can plunge themselves deep into their victims and drain them of blood very quickly.
Great.
One or two, not a problem. Swarms of them.
Bad news.
Okay.
Really bad news.
Do they have, do they nest or anything like that?
Typically, they won't hunt unless they're looking for food. But this stuff drives them crazy. It's like nectar to a bee. This gets into your bloodstream. They'll be able to smell you for miles.
Oh. So, what are we gonna do about him then?
Yeah, what's gonna happen to friend?
We just leave him?
Telesh?
You notice that Telesh goes, I'm on it. Moves over and Telesh kneels down and he pulls off his backpack, which appears to also be some sort of makeshift baby carrying case. It definitely looks as though like those chest harnesses that they put on
Baby Bjorn?
they look at those chest harnesses that they put mothers wear to hold their babies on them. It looks like a similar type of harness has been fashioned, but on the back. You notice that Telesh puts Godfrey. Godfrey is a very short, very slender male, and Telesh, even though he is a tabaxi, you can tell just from his build, his stature, he's gone through some training. Seems to be quite in his element here in the wild. As he puts his arms through the straps of the harness and lifts Godfrey up onto his back as this sleeping bard, with his head slumped, arms forward, hangs off the back of Telesh.
Alright. So, they know we're here. We should stick together in a group. Let's try not to split up. That's when they're going to start trying to pick us off.
Alright, how long do we get to where we need to go?
Thankfully, I could probably track those 3, so...
So, I think something that would help us out is if you showed us the camp. Just because we should be able to identify who's still alive and who's not alive.
That was the plan, wasn't it?
What's the plan?
Okay. Just want to start off hunting pygmy goblins.
Well, they're not technically goblins. They're called that because of their size, stature, and their particular fondness for material things. But don't let that be don't let that be a falsehood. They're actually more of a fiend than anything else. So, are you all ready?
As long as you know where to go, I think we should be fine.
We'll start by tracking these 3. Most likely they're going to run back to the camp anyways. If they break off, go somewhere else. I just want to see where they're running to. Alright?
Sounds good to me.
Alright, follow me.
As you make your way, go ahead and could you please give me a perception check? Day, please.
12.
12? Okay. As the party leaves the clearing, dragging Godfrey on the back of Telesh as the group moves forward into the jungle, as Carter takes lead, following the tracks of the 3 creatures that fled after the attack. You have been staring at Carter for quite some time. You thought he just looked like a really old, buff elf, but it's just something is it's bothering you. He seems to have slightly pointed ears, yet his ears aren't as long as other elves that you've seen, so you're thinking maybe he might be a half elf, but that also doesn't make sense because he appears to be so old and he has very deep wrinkles. He has very clear signs of age, like how humans do when they get into their late 60s. But that also doesn't make any sense because he should keep a little bit more of that life, very healthy skin as he ages if he was elf at all. And then his eyes appear to be like the silver inside of an oyster shell. It almost seems to prismatically reflect as light moves across his eyes. You get a better look at him too, his features, his movement, He moves with such grace and bravado. It's like watching a natural creature in its element. It reminds you very much of watching a predator move through the reeds, stalks of grass, and it hunts its prey. And you're not quite sure what he is.
Mm-hmm. Can I just try to kind of keep an eye on him and kind of try to, like, mimic his movements while watching him, kind of?
Sure. You can mimic and copycat him as you're moving through. You do recognize that Falner, Jezebel, even Telesh and Kaz, they don't seem to be... They're not concerned by this. They look at him and they don't seem to have any sort of curiosity. And as you move your head back and forth between the group, watching Carter and mimicking his movements, you come to realize that they must know what he is, but you have no idea.
So I've been trying to kind of watch him. He's not weird to you? Any of you? What?
No.
What do you mean by weird? Like I was acting?
He looks like a bunch of different things put together, you know? I don't really... Like his ears, kind of like yours, Kaz, but they're not.
Oh, I think he's one of those Sen things. Sen.
Zenithian?
Yeah, that's the word. Zenithian.
So we get a general concept.
Yeah, you guys, they spout out Zenithian. Kaz then gives you the general synopsis.
So, Zenithians, they are, well, what they say is a combination of several different races. Typically, it's human, elf, and I believe tieflings. Though they will always look closer to a half-elf, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
They are creations of the gods or whatever, I don't know. But they're supposed to be some sort of genius race, perfect in every way. Though he is rather perfect.
His eyes are really weird, though.
Oh, yes.
You know,
That's
it's
straight. That's the
Oh,
trait of
it
the...
is? That's what they all look like?
Yeah.
It's very, very rare to come across one. There's not a lot of them left, from my understanding.
Some people will tell you different things. Some people will say that they're a dying race. Some people will say that that Zenithians aren't born anymore. The reality of it is, from someone who has lived in a large city like Etros, which has a lot of consumer in and out of the city. A lot of travelers, a lot of people visit Etros. Reality is that Zenithians are still born on a regular basis, but maybe 1 out of 100,000 births will actually be a Zenithian. Typically, they're born from human parents, sometimes elven. Very rarely, tiefling or Aasimar.
And I don't really try to judge anyone because I don't know a lot, especially about whatever he is, but there's just something off about him. Like, he kind of moves like a predator, you know?
Probably
Something
that
hunting.
spark of divinity that they have,
Well,
supposedly.
I don't want him to, like, turn on us.
it could be just his occupation. There's all walks of life in this world, modern day, and you'll find that you'll run into multiple people in your life that you've never seen before, different skin colors, size, hair. It doesn't matter. And at the end of the day, just make sure they're a good person.
That is what I try to do, you know, give everybody a benefit, you know, that
Yeah.
they are good.
You know, if only this could be a good opportunity for you to get some tales or something from him you could write down.
True.
That is a very good point.
I kind of would like to hear that too.
But Godfrey isn't going to get anything out of him, that's for sure.
It's... Say I've been in a few major cities, and it's been a while since I've seen a Zenithian.
Right.
You hear a very soft voice in the back of your mind, like a scraping on the inside of your skull. It sort of echoes through your head. You hear Carter's voice.
Your ale friend is right.
Sus.
That is a new voice. Was that? I'm going to like run up to him.
You notice as you begin to run up towards him, he turns around and goes. You see his lips don't move, but you hear in the back of his head,
Do not be afraid.
I'm going to think really hard. Can you hear me? And
so that he turns back and looks towards what he's doing, and he puts his hand up. As he begins to move the reeds and the grass, tall grass ahead of him down as he lowers his body posture more towards the earth. And as he begins to almost get into a crawl, you all begin to see an open clearing. It appears to be some sort of cave entrance. It's built within side of a hill mound, and it appears to have been cleared out. So, no grass growing. It's pretty much all stamped out. You can see that it's definitely been heavy traffic. Little small, almost hovel-like canopy tents are all constructed around in the area, made out of either compacted mud, sticks, rocks, very poorly tanned hides. It is definitely a primitive site. It appears to be the site of a very uncivilized inhabitants. He's a Carter then turns around and makes his way back over towards you, puts his hand down low as he gets real low.
Join him in being stealthy.
You, I guess, all lower down with him.
Yeah.
I guess you don't have to lower, but
Okay.
as he lowers down and he looks at the group,
Alright. This right here is the campsite. Doesn't appear like there's a lot of them on guard at the moment. Daytime, they typically like to roam the beaches, look for anyone who may have washed up. So, camp's pretty clear. There's going to be a few sentries in there. Nothing that I'm sure we can't deal with.
Sentries?
Guards, lookouts.
Do they have, like, a leader? Are they organized?
If they are, I can't pick out who the leader is, although I haven't gone too far deep into the cavern. Just into the entrance. Telesh, with Godfrey out cold, I need you to stay back behind. And he's only going to slow you down. If a fight does happen, I need to make sure that you're all able to move quickly and fast. Does that understandable?
Yes.
We're all very capable.
I'm sure we've been through worse.
I'm going to take you to the location where I saw your fancy jacket friend. Acceptable?
Yes.
Then after that, we hunt down this Dimmick.
Okay.
He's the way.
notice that he makes his way and he bursts out into the clearing. As he moves his way into the clearing, for an old man, he is quick. He clears the tents in a flash, blink of an eye. He crosses the gaps, almost zigzagging, bouncing back and forth. You all start to become much more focused, much more zoned in as you're paying attention to your surroundings, listening to everything. You do pick up the lack of sound within the area. No birds, You don't hear the buzzing of the insects. You don't hear the sound of wildlife. It's almost as though life is sort of avoiding this camp. As this Carter makes his way all the way up to the closest tent before the cave entrance. You notice that he puts his hand up as you all are about probably about a good 15 feet back behind him. You notice he puts his hand up. You all hear the sound of rocks kind of skipping across the ground. As this happens, you look towards the cave entrance and see what looks like a small red skin creature. It's like bright red crayon. You notice it has these black nails in this setup. These yellow, glowing, almost deer in the headlight-like eyes as it comes out of the cave. It's very, very menacing. You notice it has a very wide mouth. Its lips and its mouth go from ear to ear. Almost looks like an ATOG if you play Magic the Gathering. As it makes its way out into the sun, you notice that it stops before it exits the cave, and it seems to grab a wooden mask and before it makes its way back out into the sun. As it makes its way out in the sun, you watch as it moves over towards the side of the camp. You watch as it begins to relieve itself on the hillside. As this happens, you see Carter makes his way out, and you just see a quick flash as his hand moves away from his belt, and you see a large steel dagger impale into the back of the creature's head, falling face forward. As he moves up, you see him grab the blade, wipe it, put it back on his belt hip before he motions towards everyone to move forward. You all follow?
Yes.
Okay. At this point, could you guys all give me a stealth check, please?
I got the 21.
Uh,
14.
28.
28?
6.
6. Yeesh.
Oh.
Okay.
I do have a question. I've kind of not used it. The Staff of the Villains that I got has Pass Without Trace that I can cast on people. I, in-game, don't know how to really use it. Can I even use any of the stuff from that yet?
Yeah, all that stuff you can use.
Oh, so I innately know how to use it?
You innately know how to use that, yes.
Oh, then I want... Can I cast it
So
on
Pass
him?
Without Trace won't give him an automatic stealth.
Yeah,
success.
it'll be an advantage, I
It'd
believe.
give him an advantage on it.
Yeah. Or no, it's a plus 10.
A plus 10?
It's a plus 10.
So, I'll tell you what, for this time, since you didn't know that you could use it, I'll go ahead and let you use it. So if you want to go ahead and add a plus 10 to that roll, so that would be 16. Okay.
I just didn't know if in-game, like...
And you can only cast it on one person, right?
No, it's as many people as I want.
As many as you wanted?
Yeah.
Okay. So that would have made yours like a 38, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't know if I innately knew how to use it. 'cause-
Two rogues that are getting super
It's
benefit
just
from that.
Skyrim level. He crouches and he's gone.
Right in front of them.
But
Okay, that's good to know that I innately
you innately know how to use that.
Okay.
Correct. As Lavande casts a spell before you all enter into the enter into this cave, you all see the magical glimmer of green nature energy begin to encompass your body and swirl around you. You watch as ghostly or arcane apparitional-like leaves seem to twirl around your legs and up your body, as you watch as spectral-like roots seem to splinter up out from the earth and encompass around your feet. You watch as you move forward, these spectral roots almost seem to wrap around your feet like a well-fitted sock. And as you move, you all seem to notice that the roots seem to almost eliminate all noise of your movement, even on the rock. There's no echo as you enter into the cavern. As you all move in, you see that the who all has dark vision? I believe just
Just these two.
you two. Correct? Okay. So you two, it becomes very dark in here. There's no light source.
I can cast it. If there's a spell that I have now.
How long does the pass without trace last?
Hold on, let me pull it up. It's 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay.
Yep, 10 minutes.
The second we get into just darkness, I'm going to use my drow vision.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and cast Dark Vision too, because I have it now.
You have dark vision now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you use your magic to cast it to grant your eyes the ability to see in the dark. Falner, you're the only one now who is blind in the darkness. What would you like to do? Are you going to explain it, or are you going to just walk forward?
Why? I'm stage whispering here. Why? I can't see it out here.
You hear, as soon as you say that, you feel a glass vial touch your hand.
Glass
and you just,
vial?
Glass vial, and you hear Carter, Drake.
All right.
Why isn't he talking in your head?
Ha, it's poison, you just died. I'm joking.
Well, I have advantage against poison, and
No, as soon as you
drank
drank it, as soon as you drank it, you feel the fluid rush down into you, through your esophagus, down into your stomach. There's a quick, warm flash of it. You immediately recognize the feeling, the sensation of ingesting magical liquid. It's not like drinking water. It's not like drinking mead or wine. Drinking magical potions is an experience in itself. Have you ever been so thirsty or so parched that when you drink water the first thing in the morning, it's so cold that you can feel it running all the way down?
Yes.
Imagine that sensation but times 10. It's almost like you can feel every drop of liquid inside of your stomach. As it makes its way to your stomach and you feel it expand and spread out, there's this almost a quick flash over your body as your eyes go completely black.
Never mind, I can see now.
And you can now see perfectly. Everything appears to be in shades of white and gray. Everything appears to be very almost grainy looking to you. If you look back towards the cave entrance, it's blindingly bright.
Sounds like a night vision camera.
Immediately turn away from that. All right, I just continue.
You hear, as soon as that happens, Carter looks towards you. He's like, "It's only going to last for 5 minutes."
Better get going.
All right. Could you all go ahead and give me a survival check? I'll let you guys have advantage because you have multiple people in here that know what they're doing.
God, dude.
27.
Okay.
It's just
Because you said it was survival, right?
Yep.
With advantage, okay, cool. Yep, I got 27.
11.
The natural one.
Yeah.
Did you have advantage?
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
advantage. So you
that one
take,
was an 8.
that's better than a 1.
For real.
What'd you get there, Falmer?
I got 18.
18. Okay. Most of you are rather familiar with being an adventurer, exploring the world. However, it's not necessarily your occupation. It's not necessarily something that you're paid to do. As you watch Carter move into the cavern, it looks like he has done this before. It almost feels like he wrote the book on how to survey a cave and mark it. He seems to recognize and spot not sinkholes, but large hole pockets within the cavern. You notice that he seems to check almost every corner. You even watch as he finds a trip line, and you see him within a few seconds completely disable it and move it along out of the side. As you pass under where the trip line was, right above you, look and see this net almost anchored to the rock of the ceiling with holding what appears to be a large sack of stones and boulders. As you move into a larger portion of the cavern as it stops breaking up into this serpentine tight squeezes and moments where you almost had to wedge yourself in between two very narrow passages. Your heat emanations from your vision begin to get more vibrant. You start to see a large heat source appears to be heating up the rock within this area of the cave, and you recognize it. You're not sure if Carter can see it, but it appears like he can't. And he appears to almost second guess, and he keeps making the right movement towards this increase of heat until you start to all hear the sound of a fire crackling.
Okay. As we get closer to this light source, I'm going to get rid of my heat vision and just use my regular dark vision.
Regular dark vision. All right. As you all move, you make your way finally into an open clearing. This is a much larger portion of the cavern. It's actually quite expansive. It appears that you guys have gone completely underneath this hill that was outside. And this appears to be a large hollowed out portion of this burrow. The ceiling is well over probably 50 feet tall, and there is quite a lot of different holes, expanses, and tunnels that are all leading out in a network. Kind of like, gives you this sensation almost like an anthill. There's a large fire in the center of this opening, and the fire burning, the smoke appears to be going up into this very tall ceiling, and it seems to be able to dissipate at enough of a pace to where it's not becoming a breathing problem. The moment your eyes lock onto this burning flame fulmer, you feel the magical effect of your potion disappear. And as it disappears, you are now greeted by this dim light of the cavern, illuminated by the fire within the center of the room. Go ahead and give me a perception check, everybody.
Oof. 7.
Same. I got a 7.
7?
24.
24.
Good for you.
As you see the room illuminated with your normal fresh eyes, gives you a little bit more detail on certain things in your surroundings. Particularly, one thing that you've spotted is over the fire, there appears to be what looks like a spit roast that has multiple pieces of body parts stuck on it that are currently cooking over the flame. This automatically gives you the concept that there are definitely things in here, otherwise that meat would be burnt off and crisped. The other thing you realize is that along the walls of the rock face, you see what appear to be small, tiny heads. Along the rock, long, draped, knotted cords of hair, hammered into the rock at the ends of them, small, shriveled, shrunken heads with their mouths sewed shut, eyes completely sealed. And it is littered in the room. It looks as though if this place was a Christmas tree, those heads would be the ornaments.
Boy, I don't think we're alone here.
Yeah, there's a firelight.
There's heads over there too.
As you look around, you start to see and look at the ceiling and the walls, and you all start to realize and understand what Fulner's talking about, the amount of shrunken heads that are affixed to the rock face in the area as a macabre, ornamental displacement of either their religion or their culture.
So,
Do we keep an eye out for Jeffro?
Yes, that Carter stops and you hear him kind of,
Shit.
he looks back towards you.
We've moved the bodies. They were in this cavern. It must mean that they hold them off into another tunnel.
Oh, well, would their heads be in here?
You know, so he pulls out what appears to be some sort of piece of parchment paper. He scrolls it apart, and he looks at it, and he goes,
Yeah, I'm looking for this head.
he points it up, and he doesn't, there's not a picture of a shrunken head, but it seems to be a portrait of a person alive. And you guys immediately recognize it. It's Jethro.
Oh,
Oh. Ah.
That's the person I'm looking for.
Well, I don't know exactly why.
Wait.
That's the guy. That's what your employer wants.
Apparently the merchant wants that head.
Right. Well, let's find it, huh? And see if we can just give a look around, see if we can find it for you.
Right.
Alright.
and that depiction, does Jethro have his jewelry in it?
Yes, he does.
Okay. So,
I'm gonna start looking at all at the head.
The
See if
heads?
I can pick
Okay.
out Jethro's.
Could everyone go ahead and give me an investigation check, please? Bad rolls tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Just all around bad rolls, dude.
8.
That 12-hour stream sucked all the luck and joy out of our bodies.
I mean, I'm rolling fine, except for this
6.
one. Not so great.
6.
6.
7.
7.
What did I get?
Oh god.
With a 30.
Yeah, my investigation is 5.
Okay. You all begin to make your way around the room, remaining to stay quiet and keep a low profile. You start examining the heads. It does appear that they do seem to have a fondness for anything that had any sort of markings or jewelry on their face. Earrings, nose piercings, scars, tattoos. A lot of the heads, it looks as though they idolize or pick faces that have unique features to shrink. However, none of you find anything that resembles Jethro.
Well, if his head's off his shoulders, it's not in here.
Maybe that is a good thing.
I mean, it could be worse than that. They could have just eaten his head too or something.
Connor, does the cave go deeper?
I'm sure it does. They don't sleep in here. So, this must be like the first hub chamber before the exit. It's probably treated like a mess hall or an entrance. Why don't we, let's move a little deeper.
Right.
We
Okay.
probably should.
If we go deeper, I'm gonna need to hold on to someone. I can't see anymore.
Give me a few minutes.
As he sits down, and as he sits down, you notice that he pulls out what looks like a leather roll. As he pulls out a leather roll, you notice it's got these packets inside filled with what looks like grounded up herbs. You notice he grabs it and starts putting it into a vial. You notice he casts a spell, and you watch as it fills with water, as he conjures water into it. And as he begins to shake it up, you see him add a few more components before the vial of the liquid starts turning black.
Did I recognize any of the herbs he put in it?
You go ahead and give me a knowledge nature.
13.
13. The only thing you recognize that he put in there is a mushroom known as a glow cap. It's typically found in under cavern or under dark terrain. It's a mushroom that has a phosphorus spore covering, makes it illuminate in the dark.
So you just put water and glow up in it?
Well, there is various other ingredients that he didn't put in there that
I
you
was just
Okay.
did not recognize.
So, as this is happening, can I see if there's any cracks or crevices that my cloak can tune to?
Very good. I'll tell you what, you've already given me an investigation check, but since you want to do that, I'll let you do it one more time, specifically, and I'll give you advantage on it because the cloak will attract itself to those things.
Wow. 6.
What's happening?
Yeah, you don't seem to find anything. As you move around the walls, your cloak doesn't appear to react to anything, or...
I just realized Cookie moved our trays to Chad's room. He touched them.
Oh, give me an effing break.
Oh, shit, you guys are going to have that juju on you for a few games then.
I'm rolling just fine.
Yeah, you sucked all the luck out of their
I
shit.
didn't touch Elijah's. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was in there too. Mine was stacked in his.
Oh, well, you know what? You know whose fault it is? You handed it to me.
You know what's also weird is you didn't touch mine, and I've been rolling great.
Oh, good for you. Happy for you.
I didn't touch Chad's.
I rolled a 3 and a 2.
There. What's up?
Did you result? Or are you still doing that?
Okay.
Yeah, I did touch your dice right.
Yeah, you did.
While this is all going on, I'm gonna walk around and see if I can see. He says like there's different tunnels.
Yeah,
There's-
there are multiple tunnels.
I want to walk around and see if I can find one that has maybe like blood spatter or like.
Any signs? Evidence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going
Go
down
ahead and
it.
give me a survival check or a perception. One of the two. You give me perception, survival, or investigation.
Oh, and you said there's like tents in here,
14.
right? There's like tents.
There it appears to be a
Like-
lot of places for people to lay down, sit, sleep. The furniture, the items that are in here, if you can even call them furniture, they're clearly designed for creatures of a very small stature.
I thought maybe there's tents. I was going to check the tents.
No tents. Tents were outside.
They were outside. Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to double check.
14.
14. So you begin to survey the area as Carter is whipping up this potion. As you start surveying the area, you do realize that the majority of these tunnels, none of them appear to have any... they all seem well-traveled. None of them appear to not have evidence of either footprints or dirt being disturbed or blood. There's actually a lot of blood in this cavern, dried specifically. But it does appear that this cavern is very well occupied.
Well, I kind of want to look for something that has an indication of like dragging bodies or having like a cart or something to transport bodies.
Okay, so that specifically, you want to look for like a cart or like wheels?
Yeah, I'll look for that also.
Okay, I'll use your same 14 for that. It does appear that you do find something that looks like drag marks on one of the tunnels. As you make your way to that tunnel, you actually start to hear footsteps coming from that tunnel coming out to the chamber.
Like towards us.
Yes.
Uh-oh. I'm immediately bolt back to the group. Someone's coming. Someone's coming.
From where?
You notice that as that
I'm
happens,
gonna point the tunnel.
he Carter hands the bottle over towards you, gives it to you.
That will last an hour. Drink it only once we get out of bright areas.
Thank you.
You notice that he tells everyone to get into place. Go ahead and everyone give me another stealth check, please.
Can
Get
I
that plus 10 still.
if there's a tunnel and there's someone coming from there?
Yes.
Could I use my cloak and walk onto the ceiling above the entrance?
So you would have to get into the tunnel.
Uh.
You could be on the ceiling in the tunnel. The ceiling outside of the tunnel is like 50 feet up.
Okay.
So, but if you want to get right under the tunnel, you could definitely do that.
Yeah, just so where I'm out of there.
Yeah, you
As
can
it
do that.
is. Okay.
Go ahead and still give me a stealth check, though.
Just don't have much luck, do you?
Stealth is that my
You're supposed to be lucky,
boost?
right?
That's going to be a 25.
You roll a natural
25?
Yeah.
Okay. That's with the plus 10?
35.
35. Okay.
I got 28.
28?
18.
27.
All of you take your places within this cavern, making your way out of sight. Kaz uses his cloak and gets himself just under the ceiling of the tunnel, the oncoming noise. Kaz, you tucked up neatly, you almost seem to blend in with the rock face, almost becoming part of the stone itself. You see as the noise gets closer, two small little creatures matching the same description as earlier. They seem to be making their way back out into the cavern. As they do, they're walking single file.
Okay. As they are about to pass underneath me, I'm going to jump down and attack both of them.
You want to hit both of them?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to attack both at the same time, I'll give you disadvantage on the attack.
I have 2 attacks.
You have 2 attacks?
Yeah, I have 2
Okay.
attacks.
I'll tell you what. You're still going to be doing it in one swing, because technically after you wouldn't really get 2 attacks, because as soon as you attack the first one, combat would start. Initiative would be
Sure.
rolled.
Okay, I'll attack 1.
So I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to let you do the 2 attacks.
Okay.
But I want you to roll it with a disadvantage
Okay.
to hit both of them at the same time.
Okay, so is it disadvantage? Is it 1 roll disadvantage?
Just 1 roll disadvantage.
Okay. So with disadvantage, I got a natural 1, so that makes my attack 16.
16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Do the damage.
Okay.
Wow.
So at this point, it would be an assassinate, so it makes it a critical.
It is critical,
Wow.
which you don't need to roll damage. As soon as you drop down from the cavern, you land at your feet. The first time you've ever unsheathed your moonblade to unleash it upon a unbeknownst foe. These 2 startled creatures look at you in shock and horror as, with a quick flash, your blade reacts to the movement and grace of your swing, the magical dwemer almost aligning itself to the throats of your opponents as, with one swoop, both the heads detach from the shoulder of these creatures. Your Vorpal blade activated.
oh, wow.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have that.
It's Vorpal. So if you critical with your assassination, it is going to take their head.
Jesus Christ.
As the 2 bodies hit the ground, dead, you immediately see Carter move out from the darkness. He makes his way over to the fire pit. You watch as he stamps out the fire and actually starts throwing dirt and rubble over the flames to quench it. Smoke quickly fills up and the room goes pitch black again. As soon as this happens, do you drink the potion?
I drink the potion.
Okay. As soon as this happens, he makes his way over towards you and the rest of the group.
All right. I think it's safe to say that we should just follow where they came from.
Yeah, that's probably
I
safe.
think that is a good idea.
That's probably not safe. That's what we should probably do.
And not safe for them, apparently. Show off.
I'm just trying.
I was impressed. That was impressive.
You know, as Carter looks down at a
Clean cut.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so. Yeah, let's go this way.
Kaz, even you with your skills with within the moths, who typically assassinate with blade and poison, you even surprised yourself at the efficiency of and death that was just dealt to those 2 creatures. And anything, what you did seemed almost a mercy to what would have happened if you didn't kill them in one swing.
Yes. Okay, so as we are, I'm going to start going down the tunnel. I'm going to activate my heat vision, and I'm actually going to crawl on top of the tunnel.
Top of the tunnel? Okay.
It's on the prowl again.
As you guys move, all of you get this, Kaz, it's one of the only drow that you've all ever really met. Met occasionally a drow here or there, but they're not very common on the surface. The ones that are on the surface are typically refugees or individuals that were held captive after the 2 surface wars from centuries ago, or the most recent one, very, very recent. But in this environment, this cavernous area, you watch as Kaz turns into a completely different animal. It's almost as though he seems more naturally accustomed to this environment. The way he moves on the rock face, it's almost like he becomes a creature. Almost like he seems like how Carter seems when he's moving and tracking prey. It's not often, and the first time you've ever really noticed Kaz act like this. Y'all continue forward. As you make your way through the tunnel, Carter appears to pick up on those tracks that you saw, that drag mark that was running across the ground. As you all make your way into a winding, cavernous, almost serpentine-like path, you come across what looks to be a ladder that moves up another level. You can see it's a very tiny ladder. It's definitely also designed for smaller Falner. You could use it, although it is awkwardly a little small for you too. So you guys can either, Kaz, you're already on the ceiling, doesn't really bother you, but if anyone's going to climb, I just need a climb check.
Sure, climb
What's acrobatics? Or
Athletics, I'm sorry.
God,
I got the
rolled
natural
like
20.
12 million eights.
Yeah,
today.
that's a straight 20 for me.
20.
Yep.
10 for me.
11.
11? Alright, well, 10's all you needed. As you all start climbing up onto the rock face, making yourself up into another level, you do it just perfectly fine, Lavende, without ease. Jezebel and Falner, definitely a little bit of a struggle. Definitely, Jez, you're starting to see that you haven't really been doing physical labor, and Falner, maybe you might be eating a little bit too much on the ship portions. But either way,
Or it's just a small ladder.
or just, well, I'm saying you guys actually had to climb up the rock face.
Ah.
If I see they're struggling, I will stop and try to help them.
Okay.
Yeah.
They do manage to eventually get over to the top of the plateau of the ledge and continue forward, which is only a quick hop down a slope, which seems to descend back to a lower level. And as it descends down into a lower level, this is where the cavernous rock face seems to look a lot less natural. Now it seems to be a little bit more constructed. It seems a little bit more actually mined and tunneled. The room opens up into another large cavern, although this one appears to be looks like some sort of either prayer altar room. The site you have before you appears to be some sort of large rock with a very smooth, flat surface.
Oh no.
Blood seems to be stained over the rock.
Oh no.
Just ahead of the rock, you can see what looks like a very large wooden totem of a humanoid figure bound in chains with their arms wrapped around their chest. This individual doesn't appear to have any sort of gender associated with it. There is no features on the face. It is blank. There's no expression. There's no features on the body. It's completely genderless, as its arms are wrapped around and covered in these chains. There appears to be large iron nails nailed into this totem, all over it, like a pin cushion.
That doesn't look right, does it?
If anyone would like, they could go ahead and give me a knowledge religion roll, if you have it.
No, I don't.
That's 17.
You got 17? Okay. Falner, as you look at this strange effigy, you're not quite sure the name, but you do know that there are other races that live within the Strand. Typically, the Purungi expanse. Within that expansive area of tropical rainforest-like islands, there are some scarce, obscured religions that are practiced and worshipped by some of the inhabitants of these islands. You know, one in particular that is worshipped quite frequently, although you don't really remember the name, is a pain god. It's associated with inflicting harm and pain and brutality upon its enemies.
I think these creatures seem to worship pain, torture. I know a little bit about this kind of stuff, but there's no. I mean, I don't recall any name for it exactly, but
Well, there- some names you can give it. It depends on your taste. But
Can you all go ahead and give me a perception check?
Oh my god, 8.
Oh, thank God.
That's like the 6th.
Unnatural 20.
25.
23.
23? Okay. As you all are listening to Fallner look, you notice that Carter seems to not be paying attention to you. His eyes looking around the room. Jez, you also seem to zone out, stop listening to Fallner as you pick up movement out of your eyes. You look under the walls of this cavernous rock face and you see those similar wooden faces, very like those masks similar to the ones that you saw of the creatures. You watch as those masks on the wall begin to pop out. And as they pop out from the walls, you see arms expand out from them and seem to almost grab onto the wall like spider-like creatures and begin to circle strafe the room as they lock eyes on the party. As soon as you realize that and Carter sees it, you see Carter pull his sword from his back. We're not alone.
Pull out my club.
Roll initiative.
God damn it. How many
Oh
are there?
my god, are you fucking kidding me?
We're gonna find out in a moment.
Oh, that was so close. God, fucking 8 again.
I got
That's doing good enough.
I got
8
5.
tonight on different
I
dice.
rolled a natural 1.
Oh my God. Alright, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11,
I've been
14
there, bud.
for me.
That is going to be
14, 18.
18 for me.
That's
is
got
awkward.
me.
Oh, and I gotta get a D&D Beyond for a second before I can put down your guys' initiative order.
D&D Beyond.
Not
We're
sponsored.
not sponsored, which we were, not sponsored.
Not sponsored. You know who does sponsor us? My mom. Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
You know who does sponsor us? Found Familiar Coffee.
Well, they don't sponsor us, but
Oh.
we do have a code if you want it. We got that code. Don't know what it is.
You want some
10%, I think.
Yeah, 10% off. I don't know what the code is. I just forgot.
It's
I think it's
NearDark.
NearDark.
Okay, so Fallner, your initiative?
11.
Kaz?
18.
Lavende?
5.
I need to take Smallbross out of here.
It's alright, but...
Jez?
18.
I'm gonna do nothing this game.
Oh my god, here we go. Cancer.
Don't cancer. We can't do the cancer energy right now.
Lavende's not a cancer.
You don't know that.
He's not a
He's
cancer.
really affected by the knowledge that the moon is cracking.
Oh my god,
right
you
now.
guys fucking... Whoa.
Corrode?
Matt?
They
Okay.
They all got 6.
And I'm
Okay,
the
so
closest
you
one.
do recognize about 10 of them.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm gonna get pin cushioned again. It's gonna be awesome.
I probably shouldn't have fight anything. How big is the room? Is it really large?
Yeah, it's pretty big. Definitely, if you were to look at it from a, a bird's eye view, there is almost a center. The center part of it is raised. There's a plateau. That table with the blood on it, or that rock with the blood on it, appears to be right in the center of it, facing that giant effigy. And then on both sides, there's like a ramp that lowers down to the feet of the effigy. So it can be multi-layered. Okay, so Jez, you are up first.
Alright, so where are they? How are they positioned?
They're on the walls at the moment.
One wall, or are they scattered?
They're scattered. 10 of them all around the walls are they're clinging to it.
Alright. I'm gonna start blasting.
You gonna start blasting?
Yeah. Okay. That's god damn it. 13 to hit.
13 to hit.
I think. Yes. Yes, 13 to hit.
Wow. Really wish they would fix this.
What?
You said 13? That does hit.
Alright.
That does hit.
Alright. Okay, so I need to roll a d4 or a d10. Okay. So that's 8 damage.
8 damage? Damn. Alright. You see as Jezebel brings up her hand and as she summons
That's how I
her...
make that 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage.
As she brings up her hand, you watch as the Eldritch energy forms and lets out a blast. It strikes the creature off the wall. You watch as it flies off and hits the ground. It appears to still get up, though. Is that your turn?
I'm gonna blast another one.
Okay. Same one or a different one?
Same one.
Okay.
Alright. Good God, what is happening? 17.
17 hits.
Okay. And then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 damage.
17 damage. All right, with the next blow, you guys all watch as that creature, as it gets up off the ground and looks towards you. You blast it again as he sees the energy flying towards his body. And just bloom explodes into a mist of red pulpy chunks.
Oh, that feels so good.
Okay, Kaz, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to do some things with my sword that I have never done before.
Yes, you have definitely things you can do with that now.
So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the bonus action on it. I would like to move onto the wall so I can strike some of the goblin creatures that haven't gone yet. But before I do, I would like to use one of the blade's activated abilities. As a bonus action, you can cause the boon blade to flash brightly. Each creature you can see that can see you within 30 feet must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw or become blinded for 1 minute.
Okay.
And I'm assuming these creatures have dark vision.
They definitely do.
As I get into position to do this, I'm going to yell out, "Close your eyes!" And I'm going to shut my eyes.
It actually targets only the things you want it to.
Really?
Yeah. So it will not blind them.
Tell us to close our eyes anyway.
Okay, so I'm going to use it and try to blind them.
Okay. Okay. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, those ones definitely. Okay. So you watch as your blade illuminates and it flashes throughout the room. You all see just a glimmer, a sparkle go onto the blade of Kaz as he draws it from his sheath. For these goblin-like creatures, they rear back as it looks like an exploding white sun emits from their right from your blade. You watch as all the creatures along the wall almost rear back and cover their eyes in blinding agony, except for 3 of them.
Okay, so the 3 that are not blinding themselves, I'm going to make a dash towards the ones that are blinded, and I'm going to make 1 cut against 1, and then I'm going to try to go to the one after that and go after that.
Okay, you'll definitely have enough movement to get to 1 of them, but the other 2 you wouldn't be able to. And you already used your bonus action, so you can't dash.
Okay. I do have a movement speed of 40.
Yeah, you'll
Okay.
be able to get to 1, and then the other ones you wouldn't be able to get to. Because those 3 are not right next to each other. There's 10 of them, and they're all around this circle room.
Okay. Alright. Then I'll go ahead and... And then would this be technically... it's unsuspecting?
No, these are not unsuspected.
Okay. Even with it's blind? I just
Oh, you want to go to a blinded one?
Yeah, I'm going towards the blinded goblins.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were going towards the unblinded
No.
goblins. Then you could definitely attack 2 of them.
Okay, so that's who I'm going. I'm
Okay.
trying to surprise
Yeah,
them.
they would be. I would put them as, if they're blinded, they're unsuspecting. You could definitely sneak attack them if that's what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to assassinate them. Okay, so the first one. So that's going to be a 26.
26 to hit.
Yep.
Oh, definitely hit.
Okay, and I'm just gonna roll for the second one, but actually, so that's 1. So if I'm using 2 hands, it's a D10. So I'll use 2 hands and I'll make it a D10.
Okay.
He's a god. Ouch, being.
That is 17. Oh, I gotta roll twice. 17 plus 5, 22. 22 plus 11, 33 damage.
All right.
33 plus another 10, so 43 damage.
Okay. You watch as, with one single blow, Kaz turns that goblin-like creature into 2 diagonal pieces. With a cracking speed, the creature just splits into 2.
And minus 5 damage for that. I fucked up one of the die rolls on it.
That was
It's,
overkill
yeah,
already.
that's what I'm assuming. Alright, this time I know what I gotta roll. That is a 27.
That's a hit.
Okay. Alright, this time I got it right. So 14
14.
plus 6. So
20.
31. Alright. There you go.
All right, with another quick spin, you watch as Kaz releases his blade in a horizontal arc. You watch as it clips the top of the goblin creature right on the side of the face. You watch as he clean cuts it. Top of the skull just leaves its body as you just see tongue hanging out as it falls off the wall.
Gross.
Okay, Kaz, at your turn.
Yeah.
Faller, you are up.
Can I, any of them in a row, exactly, like close together?
Yeah.
I would like to position myself so I can use Agonizing Sculpture, hit a line of them.
Okay.
Oh, it's a dex save of 17. I'm using that 2nd level.
The 2 of them, both of them failed.
Alright, then I take full 3d8 damage.
All right, Carter's going to use his reaction. He's going to cast Amplify on you.
Oh? What does that do?
It doubles the effects of the spell.
So is that double the dice?
Double the dice, double the distance, double the damage.
Wow.
Oh, full. Alright, so
That's cool.
Double the
I'm just going to do this right here, d8.
Double the dead.
That's awesome.
That's 8, right? 1, 2, 3,
This is a homebrew spell, by the way.
Oh.
Oh. Just say I haven't heard of this one.
It's not an actual spell. Just in case people watch, you're like, what the fuck is Amplify?
Yikes.
not bad.
What does it look like when you cast it?
You're gonna find out.
We got 30 damage.
30 damage?
Right.
Okay, what's the distance of Agonizer Scorcher?
30 feet, so
30
60 feet.
Okay. So you don't hit 2. You roll again. Okay. So you watch as 4 of them, as Agonizer Scorcher goes to cast within your hand, Carter realizes what you're doing, and you watch as he raises up his hand and he casts a word of power. And he raises his hand and you feel a magical surge rush through your body, a type of magic that you have never felt before. And as you do, you watch as the spell within your hand raises up and you unleash your blast towards the wall, and you watch as the Agonizer Scorcher just burrows across the wall, leaving a black scorch mark of death and fire along its path. You watch as it encompasses all 4 of these goblin-like creatures. How much damage did you say it did?
30.
30?
Oh my
Okay.
god.
As the flames exit and leave the path of destruction in its wake, as they recede and dim, there is nothing but burnt ash and falling black bone.
Holy fuck.
Holy shit. Does he want to be a pirate by chance?
Is there any left?
There's still 3 of them.
Alright. For my bonus action, I would like to inspire Lavender.
Okay?
I sing.
You got this.
Shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Find light in a beautiful sea. I chose to be happy. You and I, we're like diamonds in the sky. You're a shooting star I see, a vision of ecstasy. When you hold me, I'm alive. We're like diamonds in the sky.
I feel like he's gonna be more annoyed than inspired.
You cast Inspire?
Yes.
Okay.
What was the inspiration?
So, believe it or not,
Do you feel it?
believe it or not,
Oh my god.
as you cast your spell to Inspire, a little knowledge for you on how this spell works. Bards use their sound, the melody of music to cast the spell. That's how they manipulate the weave around them. However, just because that's how the component they use in order to cast the spell does not necessarily mean that it's good. It can sound bad and still inspire you. As Father unleashes this diamond song upon your ears, you feel a surge of inspiration through your body. However, your feelings on the song are completely up to you.
So what does Inspire do for me?
You add a d6, and for 10 minutes, you can add it to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw.
It's pretty good. Inspire's pretty tight.
How many? So where are the positions?
There's 3 of them. There's 2 of them on the far ceiling, or the far wall by the totem, and then there's 1 on the far right. So one's by itself, 2 of them clumped together.
Okay, so
And these 3 are actually the ones that are not blinded, by the way.
are they? So I know that they're on different sides of the wall, but are they in the? Would they? Because I don't have a physical representation. Are they in the same? Like, would they be in the same line?
No.
They wouldn't be.
No.
Okay, so the 2 that I'm assuming are, they're like next to each other.
They're side by side.
They're side by side. I'm just going to look at Palmer, and I'm going to hold my hand up, and I'm going to cast a Wall of Thorns onto them. Just, it's a
Saving throw, correct?
Yeah, it's DC 17. It's the wall can be 60 feet long, 10
Okay.
feet high, and 5 feet thick. I'm
One
gonna
of-
do the circle that is 20
Okay.
foot diameter.
One of them crushes the dexterity save. The other one failed.
Okay, so that is 78. So I'm assuming the one gets the half.
Yes.
So hold on, I'm going to do.
You might want to just use the D&D Beyond
Yes.
78s.
D&D Beyond.
I typically am not a fan of digital dice rollers, but I do
Looks like it's really high numbers.
D&D Beyond is the one I will accept. Those phone apps, though, I don't trust them. I've used some of them before, and I've
And I
seen
get
them
the,
like roll
the
like all
D6 for the
top.
to
How
damage
is
roll.
that?
It's for a one ability check, attack roll, or save. So attack roll to hit.
To hit.
You are, yeah.
That is 29, so that would be 14, I believe, for the one, and
14 damage
And
for the other
29
one.
for the other.
For the other. Okay. So you watch.
I just got the really angry look on my face.
You watch as you cast the Wall of Thorns. The one at the epicenter of it, the one that failed its dexterity save, as his friend jumps out of the way, trying to jump off from the wall from this magical explosion coming off. The one that gets trapped by it, the thorns, the magic explodes underneath it. You actually watch as the vines splinter and burrow through its body and actually raise it off the rock wall as the thorns wrap and twist around its throat, out its mouth, back into its eyes, and start wrapping around its body before you see just this small, tiny, thorn and vine-wrapped creature. And you can only assume that it is very dead underneath its vine prison.
Check its vitals.
All right. Is that your turn? They all fucking rolled below you guys, and I don't know how that's possible.
I think,
Let them hit us with their
Hold on, let me see.
They all rolled 1 through 5.
Good for them.
Maybe it's like traveling.
yeah, that should be
Working its
fine.
way around the table.
That should be fine. If it goes into it, though, it has to make another dexterity
Okay,
save.
so next up, the last one. Yep, that's what I thought.
What?
Clickety clacks.
Shiny box.
Clickety clacks.
You watch as you see Carter with his blade unsheathed. He looks towards the last one across the wall, the one that was by itself. He brings his hand up, and as a bonus action, you watch him cast some sort of spell. The spell seems to, as he brings his fist towards him, it almost looks like a force pull. Like he rips the creature's grip from the rock face, and it comes airborne, flying towards Carter. Carter steps forward with a twirling spin of his blade, and he goes to strike against it. And as he strikes against it, I'm going to roll damage just because I guess I could roll really bad. 8, 6, 2, okay. Okay. As he jumps and twirls towards the creature, you watch as his blade makes contact with the belly and actually splits the creature into as it falls over one side of the blade and under the other. And as he steps through, the only remaining creature in the room is the one that survived your dex save, who's still badly injured from the impaling thorns as he jumped from the wall. As his feet hits the rock face, he looks around as the devastation and carnage that all of you just unleashed within a matter of 6 seconds. And he turns and fucking runs. You just see him turn.
Attack opportunity.
So he's not out of your threatened
Start saying that
space.
to everything.
So you cannot attack of opportunity.
Okay, well, I tried.
He does go ahead and he uses dash and he flees.
Unless you have work action.
We gotta catch him. He's gonna tell his friends. His friends probably already know. Let's be serious.
You notice that as he goes to flee, you actually watch him crawl up onto the wall. And as he crawls up on the wall, those masks, you actually watch as he rips one off the wall. And each mask actually appears to have what looks like a head behind it. And you see him crawl into the hole and disappear into the dark tunnel behind it.
Well,
Combat is technically over.
what do you mean technically?
Combat's technically over.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. Technically over for now.
Alright, so I'm gonna assume he's gonna get some backup probably, so maybe we should get a move on.
So, can I chase after him?
He's definitely too small for you to enter into that hole, but you could use your cloak to go where he's going.
Oh, like so I would go past him?
Yeah, it's going to instantly bring you across the other side. It's almost like if you want to, if you remember how you used it the last time, it's like you take the two distances and you stretch them across reality and bring them right next to each other. So you enter in the hole and you kind of just come out the other side, not really judging the distance. You can actually literally travel miles in a second.
So what I'm going to do, I'll cast Invisibility first.
Is that a concentration?
It is a... It is a concentration
Okay.
to 1 hour.
Just remember that.
Okay. Or actually, yeah. I'll cast that and I'll use my cloak.
Okay. So, as you cast Invisibility and you use your cloak, you go into the hole and you go to the other side. You actually see those dimensions begin to shrink and come closer and closer together. And as you go to pass through, it's like walking through a doorway, except those doorways are distances apart. And in the middle of the doorway, which you can only come to understand as the representation of what's within the tunnel, you actually see that small creature. That small creature, as you look towards it, it's laying down on its back within the tunnel. You see its side is completely ripped open. Blood is pouring out of it at a very rapid rate. It seems to be breathing heavy. And you can tell just by looking at it that it is definitely a mortal wound. The vines that tore through its body as it jumped from the wall left it badly hurt. There's a good chance that it's probably going to just lay there and die.
Do I come out?
You do come out on the other side, though. And as you come out on the other side, you end up finding another series of tunnels and caverns.
Jesus, we're getting lost, dude.
No, a series of tunnels and caverns. How many are there?
You can see that there's many of them are much smaller than you. You'd have to use your cloak again to traverse them. However, the ones that are actually capable of using without your cloak, only 3.
Okay, so there's 3 like big ones,
3 very big ones, yeah.
and then there's like a network of like.
Yeah, this place is very much like an anthill.
Okay. Is there anything in the room or
No, this appears to be natural.
natural?
Yeah.
Okay. Does it look like the bigger ones that I could walk through? Does it look like there's one that's well trodden?
As you go to look at it, go ahead and give me you can either give me survival, perception, or investigation.
9.
I like this
9.
one.
Not that you can see. They definitely do not seem to be as well traveled as the chamber that you all followed the drag marks from.
Okay. So I'm just gonna head back.
Okay.
Um,
As you head back, you guys all see Kaz reemerge from that hole. It is actually kind of jarring. It just looks as though you watch Kaz come in through the hole as this tiny speck of just matter, and then it expands as you watch his feet land onto the hard surface.
okay. So he won't be getting far.
Alright.
Well, did you finish him off with something?
No, he's gonna lead out in a tunnel. Though, there's a lot of pathways like that in here, so we should probably be looking towards the ceiling a little more often.
And also behind us, maybe.
There's no telling how many of them are down here, so let's just take our time and check out each room if we're going to be looking for that.
You notice as you came out of that hole, he actually knocked the head off of the pedestal, or off the rock behind it. You see Carter leans down, picks up, and looks at it. Takes his sword, he knocks off another mask, and you see another tunnel, another hole, another head. You notice he throws it onto the ground.
Start looking.
As he starts knocking off mask off the wall, looking at the heads.
Alright.
Let's go ahead and give me another investigation check, everybody.
Can I go up to the statue that's in the room?
Sure can.
I just kind of want to look
4.
5. Fuck you, man. Get in there. 5. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out.
She's been pulling out D20s.
He literally touched. I guarantee you that's what it is. He cursed your dice.
Oh.
Those are magic ones.
Yeah, these are magic.
13.
I'm going to go up and like touch because there's like stakes in it, right?
There's nails in it,
Yeah.
large iron nails. They almost look like like railroad ties.
I'm just gonna go like I'm more interested in that than trying to find this head because it's
Okay.
just the weirdest. It's odd it being here, you know.
Okay.
For me,
Um,
I don't expect anything to happen.
what
but
would you? What are you just? You're just gonna look at it?
Yeah, I'm just gonna like touch the nails, like kind of reach out and like touch it, see if anything happens.
As you look at it and you touch the nails and you look at this effigy, definitely does give you a rather sinister feel vibe as you look at it. However, nothing happens. There doesn't appear to be anything out of the ordinary with it.
I'm going to try to. I don't know what's in that book, but I'm gonna try to remember it to maybe see if it's in that book that I got from Neve. Like if there's, I don't know if there's pictures.
You gonna pull your book out right now and do it?
No, I would have left that back on
You
the
left
ship.
it on the ship?
Yeah, that's why I would try to remember like the blank face with the
Chains and the stakes?
yeah.
Okay. You can definitely do that. The rest of you, as you are all hopping from mast to mast, knocking them off the wall. You hear?
We're listening.
What just happened?
We dropped a die.
It was a really big die. I rolled 13, by the way.
I know. As you are all knocking the mask off the wall, looking for this head, Fulner, you end up knocking one of the masks off. As you do, within the chamber of it, you don't see Jethro's head, but you do recognize a head. It's from Jethro's crew, though. You remember seeing them when you all were in Raven's Ring. It's one of the pirates that helped with the invading of the Centaur attack.
I look around. Does anybody see me? Like, is
Everyone's
everyone-
going through and knocking off masks and looking for heads.
Jizz,
What?
come look at this one.
Alright, I'll walk over and look at it.
You recognize him?
I assume I recognize him.
As you look at it, it appears, yeah, you recognize this individual. It's one of Jethro's crew.
Yeah, he's from Jesser's group.
Clearly on the right track. Not sure. He clearly doesn't. I'm not sure he knows it. Is he around earshot? Can you hear us?
Who?
Connor.
Carter?
Carter.
Kevin.
Carter's in the same room. Appears to be knocking off masks, but he's not right next to you.
Nah. I just lower down and whisper. I don't think he realizes we're after the same thing. Right. I mean, actually, technically, we just need a body, right?
Stop talking. Stop talking.
He can't hear us.
He's like descended from gods or something. You don't know what he can do. Stop talking.
I guess.
I'm gonna continue to.
Yeah.
Continue looking.
Same.
All right, you all get to make one more investigation roll.
I can't wait to
At
botch
that point,
this.
I'll start helping.
You get Sarah helping?
Yeah, I'll start helping.
Fucking 11. God, fuck me.
No! It fucking happened!
What?
2 1s?
2 1s?
Yeah.
Dude, that's
14.
not natural how often.
14.
You do that.
Man, you guys. All right, let's see what Carter rolls.
That is some shit.
It's a rough night. It's because we're so low energy.
Finally.
I got 13. I got 13.
All right, that's what he got before that, too. As you all are moving through, you're narrowing it down, and eventually you hear Carter knock a mask off, and he stops and looks. He pulls out his paper and he scrolls it open.
Hi, everyone. Check this out.
Go over and look.
Go over.
So you make your way over and you look. You see within the hole there appears to be, what looks like, a very miniature Jethro's head. The mouth appears to have a key that is sewed into the side of it. So it's like coming in from one end and out the other. You see, he grabs the head and he looks at it. You see the jewelry. It looks as though these creatures have mimicked his jewelry that's from his nose to his ear, creating what looks like a little miniature replica of it.
Poor bastard.
Well,
I'm not sure he deserved that.
that answers our question.
Well, we can find his jacket then, his body or something, see if we can stumble across that.
I'll tell you what. Since you all need this, clearly,
As he looks towards you.
I'll let you all have it. On one condition.
Okay.
You take it to the merchant. You take the payment. Alright?
We don't really need his head,
we don't
per
need
se.
that.
We don't need his head. I was actually kind of hoping he still had his head, so this is disappointing to find out.
I'm surprised that he died here. That is the most.
What's so surprising about it?
Okay. Well, it's a shame, though. Could we have the key?
That's what you want, isn't it?
Just the key, not the head. Just
Yeah. You
pop it out.
Yeah. Yep. You keep the head. Yeah.
You notice he stops, looks at all of you.
You all don't quite know what game you're playing, do you?
Okay.
What does that mean?
You notice that he moves over towards the rock in the center of the room and he sits down on it and puts the head down next to him. You notice that he moves into his side pouch, he grabs out a pipe and
Hey, sit down.
he starts putting what looks like tobacco into the pipe.
Alright.
I think there's some things you might need to know.
Okay. So.
And that's where we're going to go to break.
Oh, goddamn.
So we're going to be right back, everyone. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to pick up and continue where we left off.
Yes, and welcome all new followers and whatnot.
Yes, all the new followers, welcome. Hope you guys are enjoying the story. And it'll be about 10-15 minutes, and then we're going to be right back to pick up where we last left off.
See ya.
Button!
Man, he said he was gonna be here. I don't know where he's at. Alistair! Hey, Alistair! God, where did he go?
Who are you?
Holy shit! Alistair, it's me. It's from Captain Camarilla.
Captain, wait, that was years ago. What do you...
Yeah, the prince wanted a second one. So he sent me here. He said you'd be here, and we just filmed.
The second one about what?
About whatever's going on here.
Elysium?
Yeah.
Alright. Welcome, Kindred. Tonight we're going to be going over court. Welcome to Elysium. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the rules and etiquette of Elysium, and some of the positions that are involved with it. Think of court like a city hall meeting, where there's certain representatives that can listen to your claims or your quarrels. Not that it will really help, but sometimes it does. At least there's someone to talk to. So tonight, we're going to go over some of those positions. Follow me. After That's not a joke. Alright, anyways, first things first, when you get into court, is you need to do a weapons check. Weapons are prohibited. So, you'll have to meet someone at the door. Hey, there we are, Sheriff. How are you doing? Doing good, doing good. So you're grabbing all the weapons and everything? Do you have any weapons on you? I do not have any weapons on me. But if I did, I would act. No, wait, I do have one. The prince is wearing it. Yes. The prince told me to bring this. That's why I actually came tonight. It's a squirt gun. Oh, yeah, the squirt gun. It's filled with acid. I don't know. It's just what the prince likes to use. And are you just eating a bag of cocaine? We are in Miami. There's a reason why the Camarilla are not in control of Miami. Alright, well, let's move on. So, once you get done with the weapons check, one of the next things you want to do is start mingling and socialize. You never know who's going to show up to these things, so let's go ahead and get a feel of the room. Looks like the sheriff is still eating cocaine, so that's good. Looks like Seneschal's going over her notes, probably wondering what the hell the prince is. And we have an Anarch here, one with a really colorful shirt. Let's watch this. This could be interesting. So, we got two. Repeat after me. Two of you! Two of you! Alright, I already know what you're thinking. One, was he drinking blood out of a beer can? Yes. Two, is that normal for animals? Also yes. Sorry, I wish I could introduce you to the prince. That's who, biggest position here at Elysium. I don't know where he's at. He should be here by now. Oh, hello there, Jeets. This is the camera crew that the prince wants for to teach all the newly embraced about Elysium court. You see, this is a primogen for Clan Ruha. There's one of every clan in each domain. So if you are newly embraced from Ruha, then this is the top guy. This is who you go and talk to. Mm-hmm. Don't talk about Carthage. Don't bring up Carthage. Don't bring up Carthage. Please don't talk about Carthage. It's pretty dead in here, isn't it? It is very dead. I know it's not. It's dead. It's Carthage. So, some of the other positions that are typically here are things like the Hound and the Scourge. The Scourge is sort of like border patrol. They protect the domain outside, or at least on the border of it. Specifically, if you have a werewolf or a Sabbat problem. Two really bad things. We'll go over those another night. This is actually, Miami's not really Camarilla ran. It's sort of a Sabbat ran thing. Other than that, we also have the Keeper of Elysium, who is like the host. They are supposed to essentially run the event and make sure everything goes fine, like a good host would. It's very strange and unusual that this is this small here. Normally it's a lot bigger, a lot more kindred. Oh! Good evening, Adelaide. How are you?
I'm great. How about yourself?
I'm doing splendid.
Oh, that's nice.
This is Adelaide. This is the Harpy. She is responsible for keeping track of all the boons and favors that all kindred have in the city. So, which you do such a splendid job at.
You do a great job yourself.
Oh, you just, that's, she's so good.
I really don't like him.
Well, I hope you have a great night.
Oh, you as well.
Oh, yes, always lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. She is insufferable. They despise her. But the Harpy is one of the only other positions, besides the prince, that can honestly, fuck your luck, I fuck. Be respectful and nice to Harvey, or your major boon may get turned into a minor boon, or it might just magically disappear. All right, everyone. It's been 5 hours. Prince still isn't here. I really don't think he's going to show up. So, at this point, we can wait another hour.
No, I ain't waiting another fucking. I spent 5 hours. I got so much shit to do.
See you, Alistair.
Take it easy, man.
I don't know what to do here. So I don't know why they left, but apparently I don't know.
Wait, that friend's told me to give you that $75, so
Perfect. We finally have something. Good. All right, everyone. We have a note from the prince. So this was given to me by the seneschal. She is essentially the assistant, the right hand of the prince, and apparently was given instructions. So let me go ahead and read this real quick here. Greetings. There is no Elysium tonight. Haha. This was all to film Captain Camarilla Volume 2. Man, I really love that stuff. P.S. I'm down at the Pup and Taco. This is a pretty cool place. You guys should come. P.S.S. The Sabat are on the way. Sabat are on. Wait. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh God! Oh God! Alistair, what happened?
Forget about that. Listen, Kimber, here's one more position we can talk about tonight. My name isn't Alistair for no reason.
And welcome back, everyone. Thank you all for waiting through your break. I think we're all nice, fresh, and recharged. So
I took a shower.
we'll go ahead.
I'm kidding.
Impossible! Let's go ahead and, we'll just get right back into it. You all remember that Carter sat down on the rock, he pulled out his pipe, started filling it with some tobacco, lit it up, said, I think there's some things you all need to know.
So I'm just going to get comfortable and listen to what he has to say.
As he takes a few puffs as he casts the spark onto the pipe.
So I told you all that I was sent here by the merchant, right? It's partially true, partially false. It's also supposed to investigate the likes of you.
Does everybody want to investigate this?
Also on behalf of the merchant? Also, okay.
Correct. I had to be sure that you were going to play ball before I delivered the message.
How so? What do you mean?
Well, those potions that I gave Fulton would let me delve into his memories. Apologies for the intrusion on that.
That was kind of a sly little trick.
Took some time to figure out where you all were, and then of course we have these things, so didn't want to make it too complicated, but I have a message for all of you.
Pulls out,
It looks like a parchment. It's a message directly from the merchant, and this is supposed to go along with it.
The key? Is that what he...
The keys to a chest that we have on our ship.
What is in the chest?
Wait, the keys from a chest on your ship.
Yes.
How did it wind up in his mouth?
No, the chest.
The key?
Chest we took off of Jethro's boat when we got here. Key was on him. Apparently they were kind enough to leave it on his head. I was worried we were going to have to try to find which one ate it and shit it out.
Okay. So,
What does it have to do with us?
Here.
he sets the note and the head down on the rock next to him.
Grab the note and read it.
As you look at it, it's sealed with a wax cover. On it, you recognize the familiar fire emblem of the merchant's signature. It's well known throughout the Strand that he is a fire genasi and is quite extravagant, hot-headed, but very, very cunning. You know that his real name is Nethel.
Okay.
That's why he calls himself
Nethel?
Nethel.
Nethel.
That's why he calls himself the merchant. He rather dislikes his real name.
I would too. Alright, I'm gonna crack this bad boy open.
As you crack it open and you look at it, you read it. Dear illustrious Captain of the Widowmakers, I hope that we will eventually get to meet each other on better circumstances than parchment and ink. I have a rather interesting proposal for you, and it is about the game that we have all started. Abendol is the board, and it's your time, Jezebel, to decide whether you want to be a piece or a player. Meet me at Etros. We can talk further then. You will know where to find me. And tell your companion that the nightcaps
eagerly are awaiting his return.
Alright, in my head I'm assuming that's Kaz. So I'm gonna hand him the note.
Oh, okay. So
So this bit down here specifically.
What's it say?
what's that?
Well, it's up to him to tell us.
Oh, I mean,
But
what's the letter say?
Oh, hold on. I'm watching his face.
Do I know much about the merchant?
Yeah, from your time as a sailor with Arthur, you are aware that the merchant is, first and foremost, he considers himself more of a businessman than he does a pirate. However, he's got his fingers in many different associations, many different organized crimes, and it's also believed that he is connected with the Zenkaran.
So, it is easy to assume that, how does he take over the organizations? Is it typically by force, or is it by gold?
Sometimes by force, sometimes by gold, but he always gets the better end of the deal. He is not known for taking a bargain that he doesn't benefit from. And he's connected with the Zentarum. Let me correct that. Not Zenkaran.
I'm going to fold the note up and I'm going to pocket it. So, it looks like that we'll have to stop on Atros.
Right. Not, I wouldn't say that we have to. He's asking us to. You know?
No, I think it'd be a good idea to stop at Atros.
I hate cryptic messages so much.
I understand what he's saying. So we're done here. We're trying to find that.
Alright, you know, we're gonna talk about this on the ship when we get back. If
But-
we get back.
Telesh and I can deal with the Dybbuk. Of course, obviously, you can help. I'm fairly certain I've tracked it down to a garden here on the island. Fucking hate red wizards.
And the Red Wizard.
Yes, this whole fucking island and everywhere. Actually, all throughout the Strand. You ever been to a place called Pete's Hole?
Yes.
The old abandoned wizard tower near it. This island, a lot of the islands here, actually. Red wizards used to have colonies. They used to use the Strand for its particular climate to grow certain alchemic components for spells, potions, and things. Specifically, corpse flowers.
Can I roll to know what that is?
Sure. Can you give me knowledge nature?
No one saw that. No one saw that.
See here. 8.
Not a fucking clue.
Okay.
So, do you know what's on this chest that you go? Let us have a key for.
No idea. I was instructed by the merchant that the things that belong in the chest are yours, not mine. So I don't care. They're yours.
I think I know what's in it.
Okay. So, are we done looking for this mask?
I think so.
Well, what if it isn't the mask and we just leave?
Okay. I just... Alright, let's...
I mean, chances are, if it was on a ship.
Well, Jezebel, if you're done looking for the mask...
Well, he is. Alright, so it seems like he has something for us. And it's something important it must be with this proposition. And it's going to be pertaining to something in this chest, I'm assuming. So it must be something important. So, My deduction is that it might be in the chest. If not, I'm not really trying to navigate through this maze for 4 centuries, so, and possibly die.
I was told to bring you here, get you Jethro's head, give you the key to the chest, the note, give you the things, and be on my way. Wasn't trying to deceive you all, just made it a lot easier than trying to explain a convoluted plan that some fucking pirate told me to do.
Okay.
This isn't really my specialty from the House of the Veil. Don't really deal with this political shit.
Sorry, I don't know much about your organization.
House of the Veil is the school of slayers that I work with. We specialize in undead.
Oh. You don't say.
Well,
Well, we follow you out.
Works for me.
So he gets up, knocks out the pipe, and begins walking back the way you guys came. Do you guys all follow?
Yeah. So, you specialize in the undead, huh?
That is my specialty, yes.
So how do you typically deal with that?
Depends on the type of undeath you're dealing with.
What's types? What type? What types are there?
You have undeath that's created through fiends, infernal, demonic. Those ones are particularly easy. Silver dust, holy water does the trick pretty well.
What's something like, I don't know, like a lich variety?
More intelligent undeath, huh? Once you start getting to vampires and liches, that's when things start getting a little bit more complicated. Killing them is easy. Killing them for good, that's different. You can kill a vamp, no problem. But if you don't track it down to its lair, find where it sleeps and kill it, stake it while it's regenerating, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back meaner. With a lich, you can destroy its body, but it'll bring itself back with a phylactery. You can destroy the phylactery too, before you kill it. That'll end it permanently. But you destroy their phylactery and you don't kill them, they're gonna make it to the phylactery and they're gonna be mighty pissed.
Yeah, say for example, maybe you broke one of the phylacteries on accident or something. Probably gonna come after you, likely.
I don't know how you break a phylactery on accident.
Just say you did. Just say you did on accident. You didn't mean to. What would happen?
Well, the lich would know that its phylactery was broken. Wouldn't particularly know who did it, but it would know something broke it. Probably send scouts to investigate the area.
Alright, so then you'd probably want to stay clear of the area. Probably.
Most likely.
okay.
If you're trying to avoid it.
Oh, alright. So, suppose, just gonna throw a question out here. Say my boyfriend is, undead. I'm trying to kill it.
Oh.
And, it's being controlled by some sort of kraken lich.
Kraken lich?
Oh, yeah. What do you do about that?
That's not something most people know about.
Yeah, it's just...
Any reason why you're asking?
Yeah, where'd you hear that from?
Just...
I didn't know you had both one.
Doing some special reading lately?
Yes, I'm just kind of curious. What would you do?
What's his name?
Well, like normal liches, kraken liches, they have a phylactery, except much harder to get. Because typically most kraken liches put their phylactery somewhere at the bottom of the deepest trenches of all the oceans. So first you'd have to find a way to get down there to destroy it. Then you have to somehow try to break the creature out of hiding. And then have enough manpower to kill it.
Interesting stuff. Wow. Thank you for sharing.
But there's not many kraken liches that I am aware of. Most of them keep to their hiding. Most of them... You wouldn't be speaking of a particular one, would you?
Well, would you happen to have ever heard of one called Zarthalius? The Rotting Deep?
That's a name. A very old book. And I'm gonna take a wild guess that you don't know it just by pure chance.
That what?
Why don't we speak more when we get to my vessel? It's a topic that I don't particularly like to speak about. Especially about he who we should never talk about.
Yeah, sure, we can talk on your ship.
You seem like a very interesting individual. Have you ever been interested in someone telling your tale? Getting your story?
Unfortunately, someone's very interested in telling my tale.
Right. How about someone that's more competent?
Someone who can take a punch.
Someone who can...
Oracle to the face.
Right.
That too.
I'm
You
quite-
did seem to use yourself quite efficiently in there. Good idea with the flame.
Thank you. And if I wasn't mistaken, you helped with that.
Yes, it's a form of higher magic. I learned it from rather old elf. High magic can be difficult to master. Thankfully, because I'm a Zenithian, I'm able to use it. Most humans can't cast high magic. Or any other race, for that matter.
While following Carter out, you eventually make your way to the exit. You notice that just like a good apprentice, Telish has made himself quite hidden and awaited the return of the rest of the group. As you all approach Telish, he makes his way up. Godfrey is no longer unconscious now, who currently is lying on the ground. His leg has already been bandaged up and wrapped by Telish, who has been tending his wound. Telish makes his way up there, and he looks towards Carter, and he goes, I'm glad you're all back. Godfrey's up. Everything go alright in there, master?
Last time, boy, stop calling me your fucking master. Yes, everything went fine. Also, why is Godfrey being so quiet?
I guess whatever they stabbed him with had some sort of extremely powerful hallucinogenic, because he is not making any sense. And he looks over towards him. He knows his eyes are completely dilated.
Oh, yes.
He's been doing that for about 15 minutes now. I don't know what he's seeing, but he's being rather uncommunicative.
Okay.
So, where would you like to talk?
Go to my ship. Done. Your ship. Doesn't matter. There's somewhere we don't have to worry about something sneaking up on us.
My ship it is.
Well, Jezebel, be ashamed to leave such a big ship here. Maybe we should try to...
You know how people would take to man that ship.
I think we have
we
enough.
do. I feel like we have a sufficient amount.
How many people would take to man that ship?
Probably take around 12, 15 people. It would take pretty much the entire ship to be working on it.
So, like, no sleeping.
Well, I mean, to efficiently operate the ship, you would need multiple people, yes. I would say almost your entire crew. And some of your crew members don't really know how to operate a ship. They're just more or less there for handwork.
You know, it's tempting, but granted that, you know, we have a very vast amount of wealth on us right now. I think we can just buy something down the road. It's going to be easier to manage.
You do know that with the amount of wealth that you do have from that hoard that you grabbed from the underwater spire, you could easily buy a vessel twice the size of your ship.
And the crew to go along with it?
Well, or you just get the ship and then buy more crew.
I I don't want to get into the complications of having to teach everyone on board how to run this thing.
Well, at least we just take the cannons.
We will take the cannons. That is the plan.
Okay.
Alright.
Do you all head back then? Alright. You guys make your way through the jungle, passing through the same paths and trails that you all made to get there. You eventually re-arrive back on the beach, where you all left. You notice as they come out, Barry seems to be on the deck of the ship. He sees you. You notice he calls out and waves across from the water. Oi! Everything alright?
Everything's fine, Barry.
Alright, sounds good.
Actually, things aren't fine. They're fine. They're kind of fine.
You got any orders for us, Captain?
What?
Any orders for us, Captain?
Just stay there. Well, I'll be over in a moment.
Aye, aye.
Alright. You guys make your way back into your ship then?
Yeah.
Carter looks towards you and says, I'll, go grab the chest, bring it over. Guess he makes his way over there with Lesh and Godfrey.
Alright, so when I get to my ship,
Yeah.
Barry, bad news, kind of.
Alright, what's wrong?
Jethro, his whole crew, gone. So here's what I'm thinking. We can at least, make use of his cannons. A couple of them, get them over on the ship, maybe. Maybe like 3 or 4.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. I'll go ahead and get some of the boys and we'll hop over there and start, we'll start looting his ship. We'll take everything, scuttle the bitch.
Very good. Yes.
Alright, let's go. He goes, hey! Alright, boys, let's go on. Let's get these cannons.
You notice that he calls out, and Hakan, Yegor, you notice that Marigold, and even Taku get up and they start making their way over to Jethro's ship. It's going to take some time for them to effectively go through and actually get everything, but in the meantime, as they're making preparations to head over to Jethro's ship, Carter returns from his, I keep forgetting the name of the small vessels. His swoop.
Never mind. What?
Guys, can I talk to you?
We'll save it for later.
I feel like I'm saving a lot of things for later because you're acting fucking weirder than usual.
Just, it's okay.
Yeah, alright. Suit yourself.
Are you sure?
I'm gonna walk
Cass,
off.
It's fine.
I don't think it's fine, Cass.
I don't think we're thinking of the same thing.
Are you guys alright?
Are you thinking about the lich?
No, I'm not thinking about that. Just push it out of your mind and forget about it.
Did you hear what he said about it? It's going to come back, man.
To that spot. You know what we do? We just never go back there.
Did something fucking happen?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, you both seem pretty worried about it.
I'm not worried about that right now. Just stop it. Stop it.
Yes, as you are all sitting there, you hear from below Carter and Telesh.
Hey, guys all gonna let us up or not?
What?
You going to let us up or not?
Oh yeah, we're out away.
Yeah. We'll get some men over and help them get up. We're all like,
You gotta see us off. I go. Is it just like a crank thing, or you pull a rope?
Yeah, just gonna have to lower a rope so that you guys can pull it up.
Right. I do that.
He goes and harnesses it, fashions it as you guys start pulling up the chest. Carter and Talish make their way up onto your ship as well. As they come up, they go ahead and sit up on deck, and as you guys are pulling the chest up and you finally get it up there, it's heavy. It's definitely loaded with something. Stuff. Items. You can hear it moving around in there as well. Doesn't sound like coin, though. As you set it down, place it there. Carter goes ahead and sits down. Your potion's still working, by the way. You're all the one that broke the lich factory, aren't you?
Wait, what?
I have.
Well, I wouldn't say it's all.
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
He seems to think something's different.
Wait, what?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, yep, it broke.
You all broke a lich factory.
My servant broke it.
You have servants.
Yes, I do.
That's quite regal of you.
Yes. You shouldn't have too much of a problem. It's probably going to send hounds, but it'll track you down.
What do you mean by hounds?
Like dogs.
Dogs.
No, like, I'm assuming it's not actual dogs. It's going to be something
It's
terrifying.
like a dog, death hounds.
You think that like it's normal?
Do I know what a death hound is?
No, you guys have never heard it.
Alright, what the fuck is a death hound?
It's like an undead dog, essentially.
I told you. I told you. Dead hounds.
It'll pick up your scent. It'll track you down.
It's fine.
It is not fine.
Well, no, hey, it sounds like your servant broke it, so it's going to go after your servant.
Alright, wait though. Alright, so let's just assume worst case scenario, it picks up on their scent somehow. Like, what can they do to avert that?
Well, kill the dogs, that's for sure. If the master's smart, it won't have them attack. It'll just have them watch you, and then hit you when you least expect it. That's if it's a smart lich, which, well, not saying that every smart person's a lich, but every lich is a smart. So, but the fact you're on a boat, it's gonna help you, save you some time. They don't traverse water as fast as they do land.
Unless it's a crack.
It will be fine.
Stay moving. That's also another good way out. Don't stay in one place too long.
Plus, I have Wisp to look after me, so.
I don't have Wisp to look after me.
Well, that sucks.
Maybe just get rid of your servant and.
I do have something I can help you with, though, with it. I mean, it's typically something you have to pay for, but I can.
Well, it sounds like he's fine. Lavender needs help then.
Throw it in for free.
What is it?
Here. It's a coin of sticks. Pulls it out. It's given to the ferryman. Takes you across the plains of Gehenna. Use this coin when you kill the dog. Activate it. It's enchanted.
Okay.
Flicks it over towards you. As you grab it, it's a very strange, macabre, cutted coin with infernal markings that are wrapped around it. The centerpiece of it seems to have what looks like a conjoined pile of bones and skulls weaved together to create this coin.
If you kill the hound, cast the coin. It'll tell you who used what magic, where they at. At least then you'll be able to identify what lich you pissed off.
Okay, and that was called the Coin of Sticks.
Coin of sticks.
That's very gracious of you.
Listen, I've been doing this for a lot of years, and I have come across quite a few adventurers, and you all seem to be sort of fresh at it. I'm giving you a little bit of a free one. So, the rotting jeep. How do you know about him?
How do I know about him? Well, I just heard it in passing. Honestly, it came up in a conversation not too long ago. Thought it was interesting. Might have a friend who has a friend who has a friend that got tied up with one.
Do you know Kaz's boyfriend too?
No, I don't know Kaz's boyfriend.
I have your memories.
Oh.
The rotting deep comes from an age very long ago. An age that we do not want to return to. One filled with dark, horror, terrors of the night. An age that is partially responsible for the founding of my order, my house, along with several clerical orders, orders of the grave and ash. You all are very aware of my race, aren't you?
For the most part.
I'm a Zenithian. If one does enough studies, before recorded history, there was a time where the gods chose their heralds by making Zenithians. The legends have different stories and tales, but the one that's the most widely believed is that we are from the blood of both infernal, celestial, human, elf, titan, and dragon. 9 Zenithians were chosen to harbor and control the flow of souls to the gods. And if we were to ever break our vows to the god, they would bring rapture upon us, destroying all the heralds. Nine Zenithians. 9 heralds. Each Zenithian represented an aspect of the morality of the soul. There was one, the Zenith of Death. I will not say his name. The mere mention of it is blasphemous to my order. But he was a harbinger of undeath. The entire country of Murderstrad was founded by the rampaging swells and holds of horrific abominations that swept through the lands. He was defeated, slain, and as the legend goes, his body was destroyed. That age of darkness ended with his demise. But he was not the only one. He had followers, powerful followers. Entities that would do anything for their master. The Rotting Deep was one of his greatest wizards. And was the lead general in his armies of the deep, controlling swells of undead aquatic abominations. It was said that he was never destroyed, that he must lurk somewhere out within the ocean. It's considered to be an old wives' tale, a late-night folk tale to tell young slayers and scare them in their sleep. if you are wrapping yourself, involving all of you in anything resorting this crackerage, may the gods have mercy on your soul.
Well then, is that it?
What else you want to know?
There's nothing.
Yes, Telesh kind of looks towards him and goes, was there anyone else other than this rotting deep that followed this person, this thing, this Zenith?
Yes. He had a very eccentric flair for the artistic nature of death. His generals, the ones that followed him, the ones that swore their allegiance to his dark desires, many of them fell during the fall. But it is rumored that some of them may have survived. If that is true, then they must be all extremely powerful undead creatures. And if that is the case, then they would be capable of giving out uncontrollable power.
You wouldn't happen to know some of the other generals by name, would you?
A few of them, yes. One of his most respected and beloved, the General Zorn. Supposedly a Goliath of a warrior. There was no recorded note of him being bested in battle.
Does the story say that he comes down on like a flying horse and very tall?
Him and many of the other generals rode nightmares. Creatures that appear like horses, but they are anything but. It's very specific of you to ask.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Get in my head.
What have you saw?
You notice that as he kind of looks towards you, he almost starts getting lost as he stares at you.
What have you saw?
You notice he stops and breaks away.
Telesh, we must go. We must return to our order.
don't want to fire off a couple of those other names, would you?
I'm sorry, we must leave. Telesh, now!
And he looks towards his young apprentice as they quickly leave your vessel.
Well, we scared him off real quick.
Okay, so I feel like the severity of our situation is increased.
Well, let's forget about it and open up this chest. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna pop the key in. I'm gonna open it.
Okay. As you open up the chest,
Repress those thoughts.
And you peer inside of it. You find what looks to be a chest filled with a various range of items. They don't appear to look like treasure. Doesn't look like coin or valuables. They're specific things. Specific artifacts, I guess you could call it.
Oh.
Do you want to start going through them?
Digging through for a mask. I'm looking for a mask. Where is it?
You do not see a mask.
Where is it? Where is it?
However, you do notice that one of the things you grab and pull out appears to be a map.
Another fucking... Wait. I'm gonna unscroll it.
As you unscroll it, you see that this map looks to have multiple X's on different islands all throughout the strand. And all of them, besides for 2, are crossed out, including the X on the island you are currently on.
How many X's are on here?
Well, there's only 2 left that are not crossed off.
So how many
So-
are there?
So altogether,
from the
there's
2.
7.
How many things are in the chest?
It seems that there's 4 items. The map was one of them.
Walk around and look inside with Jezebel.
Okay. You gonna reach down and grab? Look through
I'm
there?
just gonna look over her shoulder.
So as you look over her shoulder and look in there, you catch a very shocking photo.
Okay.
You see a particular portrait, a painting. Small. It's only probably about 8 inches high. Small little tiny portrait painting of a woman. You recognize it instantly. A rather particular female of the nightcaps.
I'm gonna ignore it.
Alright, so stupid portrait, I'm gonna throw it out. Alright.
I'm gonna go walk over and pick it up.
Okay.
Well, so I'm gonna pick up the next item.
Alright, you gonna pick up the next item?
Yeah.
2 of you give me a perception check.
14.
I want the fucking mask.
24.
24.
14.
14. What you pulled out next is a horn. Appears to be a rather intricate blowhorn. It has a twisting wrap to it as it funnels out and widens. It appears to have these bandings around the horn with spikes around it. It also has these strange runic carvings along the horn. Falder, your eyes, when you see the horn, it wasn't until Jezebel pulled it out of the chest that you saw those runes carved into the side of the horn. Although, you are rather surprised. You see, you're really aware and have a lot of knowledge of the ordering. You know it starts at hill, moves to stone, then frost, then fire, cloud, storm. This rune is none of those. You recognize it though as a giant rune, and you've been going through Anam's, the verdict of Anam.
Mm-hmm.
The runes on this horn belong to a race of giants supposedly dead within the ordering. Sea giants.
May I?
Hold on. Barry. Where's Barry?
They're on Jethro's ship.
Barry, let's hold that.
Thank you. Sir.
As you grab it and you hold it and you look at it, you actually see the intricate bandings wrapped around it are filled with what look like seashells and coral clusters. You look at the horn and It's not a horn. It's actually a funneled out piece of coral. It just looks like a horn. You see the runes wrapped around it. These all look authentic. This is not a replica. This is not a piece of inspired art. This is a legitimate piece, an artifact from some sort of sea giant colony.
Alright, grab the next item.
Pulled out the next island. Next item is rather small. Lavender. You've been rather kind of just watching the events unfold, not really seem to be too
Don't get it.
invested in what's going on.
I don't really understand
Until-
what's happening.
You and me both.
Till Jezebel pulls out the last item. She pulls it out. She holds it in the air. It is a tiny little brooch. About 3 inches. Appears to be of a little butterfly. Wings spread out in its metallic fashion. A shimmering crystal body. Beautiful little wire twists and knots wrap around it, creating this lovely brooch for a cape. You have a moment of pure shock, because that is the last brooch you saw your sister wearing.
Oh, this is nice. I could keep this.
I'm grabbing it
Oh, well, alright. I guess take it.
and I'm going down to my room.
Oh, well, oh,
You just leave.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just left.
Why is
So you
everyone
watch
acting
him,
so mean?
like a hungry child, grab a cupcake out of your hand and turn around and run.
Alright. Bye, I guess.
At the very bottom of the chest, after you've removed all the items, there appears to be one last thing. Another simple piece of paper. You pick it up and you read it. Dear the illustrious Widowmaker crew, I hope you enjoy my presence. You all find that I am very good at acquiring things that people have lost or need. And you're welcome. I took care of Jethro's little crew. Besides, he was only going to double-cross you on that island. Consider it saving you the trouble. Signed, the merchant.
So, as she's reading that, I'm going to look at the portrait a little closer.
You look at the portrait?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Or investigation, whichever one you like.
Perception. 20.
20? Okay. As you look down and you look at the portrait, it is exactly who you think it is. Completely unchanged and exactly how you remember her. You notice that you don't remember seeing this painting before. It must have been taken, or it must have been painted after you had left. However, as you turn around and you look at the back, you see in beautiful handwriting, "Forever yours."
I'm going to snap the frame, and then I'm going to roll the painting up and put it in my satchel.
You just watched as Kaz broke the frame and he grabs the painting and rolls it up, puts it in, and you watch him put it away in his personal belongings.
So, I take it that was an item of yours, an item of significance or something?
What's the letter say?
Basically, it's from the merchant, again, saying he's very good at acquiring things for people, or, gathering things. Here, you can just...
I know a threat when I see one. Let's go to Etros.
Alright. Take it these are personal items to take a jab at you?
I think it'd be a good idea to go and talk to this merchant.
Yeah, I suppose so. But I suppose we could do it on the way, stopping at these other marks on the map.
You look at the marks on the map, and they are currently on the other side of the strand. They're more towards Etros, but you would actually get to Etros first. You'd have to go further past to go to the other two spots. You do recognize them, though. The X's are very close to the capital of the Makila people, which typically are not very fond of Abendolian adventurers. Outsiders.
Well, yeah, it looks like we'll be passing it, so we can stop there on the way to these other islands.
Alright.
So, who was it? Is there anyone of significance, or is it like a painting you did one time?
It's just, an old work friend.
An old work friend?
Yeah. So, just going, someone should go check on Lavender and just make sure he's okay.
Allegron, what's Falner doing?
Falner has been drooling on this piece of coral for about the last 5 minutes.
I'm gliding my fingers across the room.
He's seductively sliding his hands across it.
Falner, what's the significance of that thing?
This is these are giant runes.
Alright. So I think it's like a granddad's or something.
I don't know about that, but it does. I do understand it a little bit. I wouldn't mind if you don't mind. I would like to kind of study it.
It's for you. It's yours.
Thank you. It appeared to be a horn. Is there a mouthpiece on it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try blowing it.
Oh.
No, I don't.
No.
You want to blow on it on the ship?
No.
No.
Don't want to do that right now.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, Falner, why don't you go check on Lavender? He got an item as well that seemed to bother him.
Yeah, I could do that.
Alright, just hold on to that thing.
How big is it to me?
It's you're not entirely sure if this was clearly was not designed for a giant.
Mm-hmm.
This was designed for someone that was human sized, but it is clearly, in certain points of time there were moments where giants did keep humans as slaves and worshippers. This clearly looks like this is very old, and it does look like it came from a time or from a culture of people that worship sea giants. You are aware that they were supposed to be third in the ordering above stone giants.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna carry it down to Lavender's room and knock on his door.
I'm just gonna be on my bed with my knife out, kind of tracing the etching of the O and the B on the knife, and kind of holding the brooch. And when he knocks, I'm just going to be like, "Come in."
I'll step inside.
As you come in and you're looking at the brooch, you can actually still see the dried pieces of blood stuck within the weaves of the brooch.
Can I help you, Fallen?
Just wanted to check on you. You seem like you definitely in a hurry. Is everything okay?
Did you see this?
I do. What is it? Is it hold some significance to you?
It was my sister's.
Is she?
Take a guess. Look at it and take a guess, Fulner.
Oh,
I watched her die, Fulner. Why would this be with Jethro's stuff?
sorry, mate. I'm actually wondering the same thing.
Don't know why this would be with his stuff.
Is it?
It's like somebody just playing a bad joke, you know? And I don't really appreciate it. Because I watched her die, Father. I watched her and my mother die. This is the last thing that I remember her wearing before that happened. And now it's here, and I'm holding it. And it's like all the things that happened before and now just hitting me at the same time. Putting things in place. Thinking of how things have kind of happened. This whole infernal abyss, whatever stuff. Everything has just been really, really bad for me. And this is just a reminder that things have always been bad. Because it was always downhill from here.
If I may, how did they die?
I just remember it was like a day like any other, and before I knew it, we were in this village. We were just a bunch of farmers. We weren't really much of anything, really. But it was the life that we kind of knew, and before anything could even be done, screams, fires. I saw my mom come in and she tried to tell me to run, but before that happened, later I overheard my dad talking about them later on, but there were moles that came in, and I mentioned this, and everybody always thought I was crazy, that I wasn't really me. You know, I wasn't who I said I was because of everything that's happened with my father. Apparently, I don't know anything about any of that, but everybody... I just ran. That's all I did. I was lucky enough to be able to be found by my father, but he was the only one that was still alive. That was part of my family anyway. And the blood is still on this. It's never been washed off. It might as well be my blood, you know? It's the same blood. And now I don't have a heart. I don't even know what that means. Everything, I kind of just went along with what everybody else said. And, you know, this whole Zugtmoy thing, I don't really care about it. It scares me, but this is so much scarier than that ever was. Because that means that everything was real before this.
You were kind of hoping it wasn't.
Would you?
I mean, you're here, right? Terrible thing happened, I agree. But it did put you on this path with us. I, for one, am happy I met you. But why this came back in your possession to haunt you, I'm not sure.
Do you know who sent these?
I don't exactly. For some reason, Jeffro had them. But, I mean, I'd like to help you find those answers.
I would appreciate that. And I want to. If this is some sick joke, I want to kill whoever sent this.
If it's not too prudent of me, let's make sure it's not a fake, right? Let's make sure it's not a trick. Let me use identify on it. Make sure it's not someone just fucking with you.
Hold it out.
You start the ritual identify.
You cast Identify onto the brooch. Your spell Dwemer flashes over the item, and you get a quick flash within your mind of trees ablaze, houses on fire, complete carnage, the sounds of screams moving throughout the air, and you see the sight of a large hyena man-like beast making its way over your eyes as its cackling laugh roars out and plunges a spear deep into your chest.
Do you see?
You know, you and I aren't entirely different. Seems like we both had, while growing up, were plagued by outside entities attacking our village. It's a real thing.
It's not good for me.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It's like people choosing our destinies for us, and I don't want that to happen anymore.
I mean, we all have a choice. It's not always easy.
It is not easy. It's not. It is real, then?
It is real. Was there any magic attuned to it?
Oh, it's just a regular plain silver brooch.
Well, let's say we clean it up.
I would like that. I would like that. She deserves that. I think.
I'm gonna help Lavender to on the ship. Is if there's a place that we can clean water to use.
As Barry and the rest of the crew get all the valuables and belongings off of Jethro's crew, the cannons primarily, you all spend several hours prepping the ship. In fact, Hakan even told you over the period of time it takes to get the cannons over that he could easily fashion more cannon slots into your own vessel, if that's what you wanted, Captain.
That's what I want.
He said he could easily utilize at least 4 of the cannons now, increasing your firepower by double.
Yes.
During this time, both Fulner and Lavender spend time cleaning up the brooch that is found. Kaz, is there anything particular you wanted to do?
So, I'm gonna go talk to Jezebel for a little bit.
All right, go ahead.
Jez,
Kaz.
so, if it is okay if we head to Atros, I want to take some time and go see some old friends that I haven't seen in a while.
Alright. How much time?
I might be a day.
Alright. I'm fine with making the bastard wait an extra day.
No, you can go see you, do whatever you want. I'll find you. I know that city like the back of my hand.
You sure?
Yes, it won't take me any time. I just need to make sure things are okay.
With your friends?
Yes, it wasn't I didn't leave on good terms. So, the least I can do is go check on them and make sure they're okay.
I don't have to worry about them, like, trying to kill you or something, right?
That might happen,
Oh, I don't know.
but
I'm sure you can handle yourself.
yeah, I should be fine. Kind of curious though. When you were with Shiv, did you love him?
I thought I did at the time. I'm not sure that I was entirely level-headed during that point. Why?
Just kind of curious. When you were with Shiv, did you ever imagine a world without Shiv?
No, I guess I didn't.
Did you think he felt the same way?
For the most part.
And say if you went to Shiv or vice versa and ask each other if you wanted to leave that life altogether and just be the two of you, do you think either one of you would have given it up?
Is this about the girl in the painting?
Kinda.
Well, listen, we already had my talk on my stance on love. I think it's a fake emotion, just confusing other emotions for love, in my opinion. So I'm more interested in seeing what you're thinking right now. What happened with you?
You can just say I gave it a try, and she didn't exactly wanted to leave that life, and she said that we had everything we need there, and I wanted a little more, and well, I guess I just wasn't enough for her, and I just let her be.
Will this happen to be the same group or association or whatever that you're going to go visit? Yes.
The nightcaps.
Okay.
We used to control we controlled all Vetros's underdealings. It's a life long ago. I was still fairly young. It was fresh from Madame's caress. It was right after I tried school that didn't pan out. But she showed me that it's just a waste of time. So you're right. Love is a fake emotion. It's just something we confuse with infatuation and lust.
Well, at least we can agree on that then.
Yeah.
Or we're both just really bitter. But I'll go with the other one.
Okay. So if we get the outros,
I'll just be a little bit. It shouldn't take me long. I'll just go to her usual spots and ask for her.
This is just a catch up. Make sure. Is there more to it than that?
Just to make sure she's okay.
I mean, why did you care, honestly? Nothing really panned out the way you wanted it to.
Maybe I don't like loose ends, and maybe I have something else I want to tell her. I just don't know the words yet.
So it's like more of a closure thing?
You can say that.
Alright, well, I won't go prying any further. Just, be careful.
Yeah. He's gonna kind of just play with his beads for a little bit and just walk off.
And as the crew gets ready to depart to Etros, some of the members remembering bitter or sweet memories of the past. That is where we go to another scene. Somewhere deep, far to the north, winter raging. The middle of winter holds its grasp on the northern countries of Abendal with a tight fist. Then the country of Inalia, just outside of a small hamlet. Soldiers, marching all night, set up camp. The dead trees now fill the forest. Their leafless branches bob and dip in the wind as it blows through the tree line. Snow, calf deep, fills the area. Two soldiers sitting along a log next to a fire. Fuck, I hate this. It's so goddamn bloody fucking cold. This is horseshit. We should be at least able to go with the rest of the guys and warm up, fill our bellies with some mead, right? Oh, quit your belly aching. I'm sure we'll be able to move out there soon enough anyways. Besides, we got routine watch on this. We'll sit here for a little bit, we'll, freeze our balls off, and then we'll get to move in, someone else will move out. Snap. The sound of a tree or a stick breaking just close by fills the air. Two men snap their heads up. What was that? Oh no. Who's that? Hey, show yourself. You're sneaking up on us, you're gonna get the wrong side of a blade. Notice that a quick, loud "Brah!" jumps out from behind a tree as a small, probably about a 12, 13-year-old boy hops out from around it, bundled up in furs and warm clothing, his face wrapped with a scarf and hands and covered in gloves. You notice the one soldier, the other one jumps and startles. Don't scare us like that. Did you just scream? I didn't scream. That was you. What are you doing out here? It's freezing in the middle of the night. Get back home. Why go home? Nothing to do. I'm bored. Figured I'd come out here to see what you guys are doing. Hey, listen, it's dangerous out here. Well, I'm here to keep watch, make sure the hamlet's fine, right? Is there actually really soldiers out here? Yeah, there could be. We're in the middle of a war. Come on, go home. I mean it, boy. Go home. Alright, fine. Yes, the boy begins to trottle off, walking through the snow, his footsteps crunching down as he walks away. God. My father would have whipped my ass bloody if I would have ever done something like that.
Yeah, it's weird. Boy, there's weird screaming birds out here.
Screaming birds, really.
Well, maybe.
As the two men sit there on the fire, next to the fire, trying to warm themselves, sound of a swirling slap of explosion. Sound of snow flying up into the air, gently falling back down as it rains and cascades over the men. You notice that both of them quickly snap up off the log. Alright, that was not a little boy. What the fuck was that? They both look around, look at each other weirdly. You notice that they both slowly move away from their log, drawing their weapons. Shh. They walk towards the tree line, looking both ways. You see anything?
No, I won't say shit.
Alright. Keep your eyes peeled. As he moves towards closer, one individual sees something move right behind the tree. I got you. You notice he makes his quick dash towards the tree, jumps around the side, bringing his weapon up to strike whatever is hiding behind it. Nothing. Fuck. I swore I saw something. A large metal axe pinces this man's head into the tree, watching his head slump as it smashes into the tree. You notice that the other individual, looking at his friend just being slaughtered from this axe blow, turns and begins to run, trying to signal for help. As he does, a quick sound of the axe leaving the tree, and then right into the back as he hits the ground, sliding. You hear his cries, trying to scream, his lungs beginning to fill up with blood. As he starts trying to crawl away, see this figure walking through the darkness out from behind the tree, crunching his feet down into the snow, walking over and grabbing the axe, pulling it from the spine, kicking him over. He looks down towards him as he takes his hand and wipes the blade. The individual looks up towards the night sky, seeing the stars above him as the snow illuminates his world around him.
Where am I? Vinalia.
Pummel crushes down into the skull of the man on the ground as he walks over, starts disappearing into the tree before he hears the sound of sobbing, a snap. The axe-wielding individual turns and looks towards the small amount of brush. As he makes his way over, you see him take his hand and clear the brush and look down, revealing the small boy hiding who just witnessed the two men being slaughtered.
Where are you from, boy?
Here.
Then it is the will of Tempest.
As Small Vross buries his axe deep into this small child. That is where we end tonight.
God, what?
Hope you guys all enjoyed tonight's episode.
I don't know what was exactly when that.
As soon as
Accent.
you started talking about X.
I did not
was
know.
like,
I did not
fuck.
know. I did not. I was like, oh, cool. Who's this? Not cool. Not cool.
No bueno.
Oh my god.
So throw those praise tempests in the chat. No,
Don't do that ever. That's bad.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Okay. We will be back see here.
Sunday.
Oh no, tomorrow. Are we doing After Dark tomorrow? Or are we?
After dark tomorrow.
Okay, so we can do After Dark tomorrow.
We have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hours of content to talk about, guys.
Yeah, 16 hours of content. Most of it is gibberish and babble, and people falling in and out of consciousness.
Mad ramblings.
Mad ramblings. But regardless, yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna do some After Dark for you. You guys can talk about both Call of Cthulhu and tonight's game.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, then we'll see you guys next Sunday for another next episode of Death Attack. So.
Oh yeah.
Without further ado, thank you all so much for coming in. And again, thank you all for the new follows. Thank you all for the donations. It means a lot to us, and it helps us just keep making things better. So, love you all. You have a great night. Until next time, remember, best time to tell stories. It's whenever it's near dark.